This is nuts. All right. I'm going to do a live stream for a couple hours. I'm going to actually clean up here while we talk. Yeah, I know my hair is a mess. My hair is a mess today, boy. My neck is a little sore. Wow. I don't know wait till somebody comes on. Let me just confirm that audio is the audio is good and I can proceed. Wow, look at the mess I created here. Yeah, Castle. I'm gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about New Orleans. New Orleans. Wonder if you do a New Day stream. I wasn't gonna come on today, but um, I know, and I was just showing New Orleans last night. I showed New Orleans till about almost 11 o'clock, around 10:30, and I was showing New Orleans because every year I show New Orleans. So every year I show New Orleans, and um, right, look, I'm gonna show you what happened here. I'm gonna show you. When I Let me just say, last night after I popped the popper, there's a container. It's around this somewhere. My neck is a little sore, so if I'm going like this, I last couple of days my neck's been a little sore. Of course, and as soon as I finished popping it, I went back downstairs. I left my computer on the whole time. And right now, EarthCam is still on Times Square. I'll show you right now. Look, this computer's been running all day. So I when I came up here, it was like this. No. This was still running. I never shut down the computer upstairs. So this is right now in the middle of the day. This is a Times Square, of course. Remember, this webcam was the last webcam that I did before I went downstairs for the rest of the night. So I thought I shut down the computer. I did. I totally forgot about it. So from there, what happened is as soon as I popped the popper, say Happy New Year, I ended the stream. I went downstairs to give a hug to my son and all that, and I was with them for another a little while, and then I went straight to the boiler room. And I was up there for another hour, just drinking beer. Nothing came on the news about New Orleans yet. 1 o'clock in the morning, I finally went to bed around 1:30. I went to bed about 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning, I went to bed. Oh yeah, yeah. So I went to the boiler room for about like an hour. 1 hour in the boiler room. I had the radio on. I didn't hear nothing about New Orleans. Nothing. And then I shut off the radio. Yeah, that's exactly that's what I'm getting to it. Yeah, Tasso, that's what I'm getting to it. So it happened at 3 in the morning. I was already asleep. I was asleep when it happened. So weird that I wonder if whoever those when I showed a video. Remember the one of the two women remember the one with the two women? And one of them had the purple, the lavender hat on, and she was tore up. I'm wondering who the victims are now. I hope it's not, but I hope it's anybody that we saw during the thing. But because it's a lot of victims. It's over 35 people hurt. At least 10 people are dead. So, and one thing occurred to me, and I mentioned this. I think I mentioned it during the live stream. Remember when a truck went by? Oh, sorry. Let me turn this off. Remember when the truck? I don't know if it happened on the same spot. I know that's Bourbon Street. The intersection, I'm trying to remember what the intersection is. I have to look at my replay. But that's Bourbon Street. Remember, there was a big truck that went by. It was a Cisco truck, and I was saying, why is this not barricaded? Remember, I brought that up. I don't know if you. I remember that because I clearly, when I saw that big delivery truck go by, it was a Cisco truck, and remember that they were moving people out the way, like to move the truck through. I'm like, why didn't it barricade that street? Apparently, it was barricaded somewhat. But yeah, when I saw that truck, when I saw that big truck, I was wondering. The thought occurred to me that they could have used a truck to ram all these people over because it happened. It happened. It happened in Manhattan. Remember, I think it was 2017, where there was a more was it a truck or a van? Remember a Halloween? Okay, this thing is making noise. Remember that whole thing? So that's the first thing I thought about. Why is this street not barricaded? That's the first thing I said. I remember saying it when I saw this truck. I said, why is the street not barricaded? So apparently they're having a press conference. I'm going to put it on the radio. I think they're talking right now.
Or joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
Members of Congress and the city council.
But yeah, I was. Oh, sorry, my belly. Belly cam. I was wondering about that. Why they having a truck go through there? All those people there.
First and foremost.
So if that big truck went through there,
I just did you check in on them?
It's just crazy.
They came to New Orleans for a good time, and they were run over. I think they're entitled to some outreach.
I got the microphone away here. Sorry.
Who remembers when this happened in New York City, October 31st, 2017? I do remember that very.
So he's talking about the Halloween attack that we had here.
An Islamic extremist terrorist in coordination, or I guess inspired by, in cahoots with, done to impress ISIS. He was an ISIS guy. Drove a truck that he rented up onto the bike path on the west side.
Yeah, I know. Thoughts and prayers go to the families and the victims. And it's just crazy. When I saw that truck last night,
ran down 11 people, killed them.
I was wondering. I said, I remember saying it. I'm gonna go back to that. Actually, I'm not gonna, because I don't want to end the stream. I'm not gonna be on too long to that. Maybe a couple of hours. I am gonna clean up right now. I have a lot of confetti here on the floor, and all over my desk. So I'm gonna start by throwing this confetti on the. I have a shop vac that I can come up here, but I want to take out most of it. But the bottom, I just I'll vacuum it up. But so that happened way after I was in bed already. And I know the Sugar Bowl's tonight. There is a game out tonight, the Sugar Bowl. That's one of the playoff games in the college football championship series. So Notre Dame is playing Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. So that is tonight. I don't know if they're going to cancel it. So far, I don't think they're going to cancel it. But that's another thing. So there was a lot of tourists there for tonight's game. The Sugar Bowl is also.
To get this city safe.
But I was wondering about that. I was wondering about why would they let a big truck like that go through Bourbon Street?
General Freeland to mobilize the military police company to assist both the Orleans police and LSP and the FBI.
So I guess that's a press conference.
For our citizens and guests of this state.
I'm just cleaning up the desk before I start. Let me move this over here. I'm sure you can probably still hear it. I got all this confetti.
We want to make it clear.
All over my desk.
The Superdome and the surrounding area is safe. But I've always said that the safety of this entire city.
And I always show New Orleans because it's one of the few places that I find entertaining.
With that,
The people are right there, and you saw it last night in New Orleans.
No,
It's ironic. It's so weird that this happened to him.
to Jeff.
It's like we was almost looking into a crystal ball.
With the Super Bowl. Jeff,
Wow.
Agent, huh?
You know?
Good afternoon. Obviously, we wish we weren't here for this reason today. The Super Bowl committee has a 90-year history as being a good corporate citizen for the city of New Orleans, and that's why this tragedy hurts us as much as anybody right now. So our condolences, thoughts, and prayers go out to the victims and their families as we all work through this. Of course, anytime we have a major event in the city of New Orleans, public safety is paramount, and we have full faith and confidence in the governor.
I'm cleaning up here, don't mind me.
Sorry.
I'm listening to the press conference, so I want to hear this. And then we'll
applied to this event so that we can ultimately bring those responsible to justice and carry on with the major events that we have in front of us. Speaking of which, we were scheduled this evening to have a CFP quarterfinal played in the Superdome at 7:45. We have been in consultation with ESPN, with the College Football Playoff, with the Southeastern Conference, with the University of Georgia.
I'm throwing out the empty bottles now.
All parties and
the cleanup.
That it's in the best interest of everybody in public safety that we postpone the game for 24 hours. Work is fast about to set up a safe and efficient and fun environment for tomorrow night. There'll be more details on that.
They're postponing it.
But for now, that's the plan. We're going to move forward and play the game. And again, we reiterate.
They're going to postpone it or they're not going to postpone it?
Everyone up here for the important work they're doing. We live in the fun and games world with what we do, but we certainly recognize the importance of this, and we're going to support it 100%. So thank you.
Good call putting off the football game. Hey, the Superdome. When the hell did it become the Caesars Superdome? Is that Little Caesars, like the pizza company?
No, that stuff's casino.
Oh,
yeah, they renamed it a few years ago.
Casino. Gamble.
It was before it was the Mercedes-Benz.
Much more to come. And,
I think it's like 3 years ago they renamed it Caesars Casino Superdome. That I know. I remember that.
Don't believe in objective evil. All you have to do is look at what happened in our city early this morning.
Let me go get the broom.
If this doesn't trigger the gag reflex of every American, every fair-minded American.
I'm gonna post New Year cleanup here.
I'm here because these are my people. I'm here because these are my people's friends. I'm here because there are a lot of Louisianians that are scared tonight. I don't want them to be. There's a lot of information going around.
This is the popper.
Is actually true.
Pretty big, right?
Some of it isn't. The federal government is now in charge of this investigation. By that, I mean the White House, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice. I have not talked to the FBI. Maybe they've talked to my staff. I don't know. I did talk to the Secretary of Homeland Security.
I'm going to try to sweep up as much as I can. I really don't want to do the vacuum because it's noisy.
With all the respect I could muster, that we expect to put the full force and resources of the federal government behind this investigation.
They helped let it happen, probably. All right, we gotta go. Hey, why do they have one of those sign language guys right there? I mean, give me a break. Every television set in the universe can do the closed captioning.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks weak and silly, to be honest. I love sign language. I actually know a couple of signs myself. But to have a guy right there in front of everything, it's getting it's a little much.
Yeah, I think it's a little too much also.
It's trivial, but There he is. There he is, doing his thing. Thank you, Senator Kennedy, and the rest will be right back.
Red Kelly.
Trying to get most of it out of here.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major challenge. ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is finding quality people.
I'm telling you, I was wondering the same thing, man, when I saw that truck. When I saw that big truck, I remember the company is called Cisco with an S. SYSCO, right? It was a big truck. It was a big truck. And I'm like, why is this truck in the middle of Bourbon Street? Of course, it was not that truck that did it. It was actually, I believe they said it was a pickup. It wasn't that truck. But I'm just saying, why would any vehicle be in that area other than the only vehicle should be in that area is police or the EMS. Remember we saw the EMS. Remember we saw the EMS ambulance also. Well, I don't understand. Maybe the Cisco truck was bringing in barricades or something. Maybe they were bringing some kind of barricades or whatever. Maybe they were part of the. But I was wondering about that. Why would the Cisco truck be in there during the? When you're having an event like that, usually by a certain time, you just shut down the whole street. You put those big concrete barriers. You need a crane to put them. You need you need some kind of lifting to put or push them into place. And I was really scratching my head about that. It just really got, and then look what happened. I'm like, so they probably had the barricades not covering the whole street because I heard not the live press comment, but I heard a little bit of I guess a review, and I had the chief of police talking, and of course like what he mentioned. I don't know why they seem to be all of a sudden everybody's I'm not gonna shut up about that because it seems to be like DEA. Everything is DEI hires. Like because she's a woman, that's it. They hired her. Like everybody in the top position, all of a sudden is a woman. Like there's no merit. Because I wondered that myself. Why is there no barricades in these places? Like even when we saw the New Orleans street, even the cross streets should have barricades. Like every intersection, you have a barricade. You have one main street where people can walk back and forth. But every street that connects to it, they should have barricades. Or some kind of security. I put a couple of police cars and all that. They do it here in Yonkers when they do some kind of construction, like when they're fixing the streets. They have a couple of police cars blocking the rest of the road. They were shooting a movie. Remember I told you about the movie they were shooting late in the summer? Actually, it was in September. It was in September. They shot a movie, but it was more for, I think it was a Stars. They shut down the whole street. You couldn't even walk through there unless you no, I live here. Okay, go. But if they say action, you gotta hide. Like there was people hiding. If there was people standing, it was weird. But so I was watching them shoot a video scene, and they kept crashing the motorcycle in the intersection. It was an actor, and he kept. I forgot the name of the. I talked about it a few months ago. I forgot the name of the. It's like a Stars movie. When I say movie, I'm talking about like episodes. One of those series. It's about. I think it's with 50 Cent. It's based on the life of 50 Cent. I think, or somebody. that he grew up in Brooklyn or something. Hello, Estrella Garcia. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. And I'm just on for a couple of hours. I'm doing some cleanup here. But I also wanted to talk about what happened in New Orleans because we were watching that last night live. We were watching them celebrate. Of course, that awful event happened after I went to bed. But it was weird that a couple of things there I just noticed. One of them was the truck, the big kind of truck there, and I was like, "Why is the street not barricaded?" And I didn't think that, because when I woke up and I heard about that, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like. Thank God these are the paper confettis. These would have been the little aluminum strip confetti or the metal strip confetti. Those things stick to the floor. Those things are like magnets. You ever try to sweep up aluminum type confetti or the foil confetti, like gold foil, aluminum foil confetti? Oh my God, these are paper. So these are all like, yeah, I'll show you. I got them in one big pile now. Look, sorry. So, yeah, this is the only live stream where you're gonna see somebody sweeping. Less than 12 to 24 hours New Year's. And then that's awful. That thing happened in New Orleans, though.
230. For over 35 years, we've been helping people just like you. Please call us today at 718-816-0005 or find us online, aglawnyc.com.
Now, the latest from the 77 WABC newsroom. 77 WABC host and contributor Bill O'Reilly comparing President-elect Trump's comeback to a well-known movie character who knew how to take a punch and keep on fighting.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Let's call the movie Trumpy 4. Time Magazine has named Donald Trump Person of the Year. Predictable, because he is Person of the Year with his dramatic political comeback. And if you look at the complete saga from top to bottom, it is like Rocky. Yo, Adrian. The contender wins the title. 2016. Then he gets knocked out in 2020. Then they try to put him away forever, and he comes back from that. The criminal cases and the smearing by the press and on. And then the ultimate Trump before he wins the presidency.
And then the people got fed up.
Predicting that Trump's legacy, just like Rocky's, will endure. I think Donald Trump's political comeback is the strongest political movement in our country.
And of course, I'm not going to apologize for that here. So, all you snowflakes out there, you don't like what I'm hearing, there you go. Sorry. Truth. I know. I don't know if I stumbled upon something earlier in the weekend, and somebody was apologizing. Me, I don't apologize for what I listen to. I listen to what I want to listen to. That's what separates me from other live streams. I listen to what I want to listen to, and if it bothers people, I'm sorry. Well, then you know what? Then you shouldn't be on the live stream listening to what I'm listening to. I'm not gonna be a milk toast Danny. I guess the rest of it I'm gonna have to vacuum. So let me get the shop back. You're gonna hear some vacuuming. I have to vacuum because this stuff doesn't want to. It's hard to sweep this stuff up because of this carpet. So I'm gonna vacuum the rest of it. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the aftermath of the new year. What else is my vacuum at? What I did with the vacuum? Oh, it's right here. Is it still plugged in? I think it's still plugged in. It's still plugged in. I'm trying to resign it so I can. Oh my God, what happened here? Okay, hold on. This ladder is right in the way of the cord. Come on, bro. There we go. The cleanup. It's not that noisy compared to the other one. Oh, man. My nose is itching now. Okay, I need to empty the vacuum. Yeah, I know. I know it's horrible that what happened in New Orleans.
At this time, I can't go into details about all the victims. We want to make sure that first that the family is notified appropriately before we put any information out there. So once the families are all notified, then we'll go ahead and release a statement to everyone.
And I would actually, it happened around 3 o'clock in the morning, I guess.
If we could just refrain from worrying about them so their loved ones can take care of them, and the medical personnel that are trying to get them out of hospital to do so.
I'm sorry.
Respect the privacy of those who are still either fighting for their lives or.
Why don't you tell us then more about the assailant? Why do you have to ask questions? Why are you holding information back from us?
You guys mentioned a conflict that you don't think that the suspect acted alone. About how many more suspects are you guys looking into at this point? It's a range of suspects, and right now, like I said, we do not run the rule of anything else, so that's why we're asking if anyone has had any interaction with the deceased suspect Jabbar in the last 72 hours, provide us with this information. You can provide us that information through 1-800-CALL-FBI or a digital text line, which is available on our social media website.
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm hoping. I just think that, you know, when they. I mean, I asked a couple of questions last night about it. Especially when I saw that truck go into that street.
I don't get it.
You wouldn't. Look, the FBI
All right, that's that part.
you probably think it is. And as of, I guess, 10 o'clock this morning, I was saying, how do we not know anything about this attack at this point when there are all these kind of reports out there that
it's called incompetence.
ISIS flag was pretty much visible right away. It took them a while to even mention it as a shooting in terms of the earlier coverage of it, because I've been, looking at this since it kind of broke overnight.
Let me wash my
Here
hands.
doing early morning coverage following New Year's Eve. So
I got most of it
it's
clean.
really just kind of disgusting, and I understand your frustration. I get it, frankly, that this type of stuff, they clearly don't want to say what's actually happening here because I guess they're worried it fits a narrative or something like that.
Exactly.
You wonder. Well, we do have the name.
Because it's called a religion of peace.
And hey, look, I want to show.
I hate to say it.
Show you, but I'm looking at video and
And
also
religion of
social
peace, space
media.
again.
You got to take it with a grain of salt. But I'm seeing a video from social media of this pickup truck. Looks like it's white or possibly a light gray, and it's a street. Bourbon Street isn't like this. Bourbon Street is a very narrow street. I've been there.
Yeah.
But what we see here is traffic going down something that looks like Queens Boulevard. Folks, if you're not from New York, what am I talking about? One of those great big main avenues, multi-lane highways with a service road. Not a highway, but just a big, busy street with traffic lights, multi-lane, and they have like kind of side roads, service roads. Do you have those outside of New York? Quite frankly, not too many, and it looks to me like the guy is going very slowly with traffic. And then there's a police car parked. He goes right next to the police car, makes a sharp right turn in front of the parked police car, hits the gas hard, and does a 180-degree turn in front of the police car, and then hits the gas, all the while hitting people, and he goes out of frame. So anyway, I am seeing that, and it looks like they were going with the flow, and then made this wild hairpin turn and started the attack. Bad stuff. Well, what can we do? I guess we got to wait, and there'll be more information. I'll scour social media. Good stuff there. Not always. They falsely identified the name of the woman who was burned on the subway. And we found out her story. Tom's River, boy, poor. She graduated high school in 1980.
And then they put somebody on the subway. I think this happened this morning too.
You know what it said on the yearbook, James?
There was a man that got pushed in the subway.
Forever. Party forever.
But he's alive though. A miracle that he's alive.
For a lot of people, it starts in high school.
This is just crazy. This is like bizarro world right now. All this nuttiness happening.
I admittedly was asleep before
Not even 24 hours in, and this is happening.
Kind of missed out on, I guess, even the bad storm.
I mean, I know what it is. You kind of know what it is, It's just.
It was exactly the most exciting New Year's Eve ever for me.
Let me blow my nose. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose.
You are so lame. I was asleep myself. Hey, you know what? Really, I would not want to do. Even though I love President Trump, I love Mar-a-Lago.
You wouldn't want to do the Mar-a-Lago on New Year's Eve.
So I don't think so. And one of the reasons why I now have an aversion. I don't look. I've got access to every song that's ever made. I've got iTunes. Some people have Spotify. Any song you can think of, I can put it in my little search.
All right.
And it's gonna come up.
All right, enough of that. I'm done with this. I'm just. It's crazy. So let me read some of the comments. Anyway, Earth Cam, I'm done with it. Sorry, I let this thing running all night. But of course, it was on Times Square. You see, the last Earth Cam I had was Times Square. Remember Times Square? It just finished right now. It's just still watching, and I didn't click on it right now. It just finished right now. When I walked up here, it was still streaming this. So I'm telling you, when I was showing New Orleans, and I saw that big truck, I'm like, why would they allow trucks like this to go through the Bourbon Street? So I know the security was not super tight. I'm sorry. I think some of it was incompetence on their part. I'm gonna say it. I know I'm gonna be like, well, how can you say that? That's the first thing I said when we were watching New Orleans. Remember we were watching New Orleans, and I saw that truck go by, and people were waving, to, you know, and I'm like, how can they let that truck? Okay, that's not. By the way, that's not the truck that did the attack. I'm just gonna say that right now. It was not the truck. But when I saw that truck and people were guiding it, and there was nobody like really guiding it, it was only a guy with a vest. I'm like, what kind of security is in this spot? And then, God forbid, look what happened hours later when I was in bed. Guy with a pickup goes in there and mows down God knows how many people. I believe now the death toll is 11 or 10. Is it 11 or 10? And I believe it's like 35 people injured. But when I saw that truck, I'm like, why would that truck be in that? When you shut down, when you have a festival, I know in New York City they do that. In Manhattan they do that. When we have a festival and all that, they shut it down. You ain't no vehicle going in there. And they put those concrete barriers, or they put a couple of police cars. They do it here when we have festivals here in Yonkers. They put police cars. There's a whole bunch of police cars, and the police he's in the car, or they could be outside the car standing there. You're not gonna get through there. I mean, unless you ram your way through there, you're not getting through there. I mean, they literally block the whole street. They do it over here just for minor stuff, for just repaving the street. They put vehicles in the way. You're not gonna get through there. So I when I saw that truck last night, I'm like, why would they allow vehicle to go in there when there's people already in there? And we saw people. Some people were already with the costumes on. We saw the Marie Antoinette one. We saw the it's crazy. Happy New Year, Matthew. Happy New Year, Different Gear TV. Happy New Year, Mary DXer. Yeah, Mary DXer. When I heard the news of the attack, straight away I remember the Earth Cam you showed off on that street. Yeah, because I show that every year. The two main ones that I always show is Bourbon Street, because I like Bourbon Street. I just like the whole vibe of that. I never been there. I would love to visit New Orleans. We thought about going to about 4 years ago. We thought about going to New Orleans. We were gonna actually drive to New Orleans from here. We were gonna go all the way to New Orleans. Actually, we were gonna go to Indiana and stay there for a few days, and then from there go down to New Orleans, stay there for a few days, go back to Indiana, and then go back. Or you just take the rail. Not much of a fan of flying anymore, man. But that's nuts that happened. And I think they postponed the Sugar Bowl. College football bowl game supposed to be on tonight. I think they're gonna postpone it for tomorrow. I think I don't know if it's official yet, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna postpone it. So I was looking forward to watching that tonight. And there's another bowl game that's supposed to happen today for that. And let me close this Earth Cam tab. Okay, where goes my mouse? Yeah, so that's why I came on today, because this thing happened. And I'm like, wow. I mean, this is like, okay, I have to close this. I'm just gonna close this. This thing loads forever. This Microsoft start page is ridiculous. So now I only have this window open. Okay. Well, Matthew, hopefully the violence stop, but you just got to be vigilant wherever you go. I mean, look what I'm looking for a job in New York City. And what happened? It was early this morning, or early or late last night. This morning, somebody got pushed again into a train. Homeless guy just went over the turnstile, and right there just pushed the person right into the oncoming train. Of course, right now he is alive. He actually, by the miracle of God, he actually survived. I don't know if he fell in between the cars, and they finally right away they noticed that somebody got pushed in, and I don't know what happened. I just saw it this morning when I was watching the news. I'm like, oh my God, like bizarro world. And then I believe it in. I think in the Bronx there was and I think yesterday also. But this is before the New Year celebration or not. This is early yesterday. I believe they captured the woman that left the baby in a shopping bag. I think she got arrested too. It was a few days ago. A woman was I guess she didn't want her baby, and she put the baby in a shopping bag and left it in front of some. I mean, she bundled up the baby. I'm not trying to make excuses for her. She bundled up the baby and was I guess they caught on the camera, security cam, walking up back and forth. I believe this happened in Brooklyn. I'm not sure. I forgot if it was in Brooklyn. And she left the baby, and luckily the neighbor, somebody heard a baby crying, and when the guy got home, he saw the shopping bag there right in front of his door, and there was a baby. And so right away he called 911. The baby's doing well, but since then, I believe yesterday or early yesterday, I saw I got on my phone that they actually arrested the mother that abandoned the baby. Because over here in Yonkers, I don't hear in Yonkers in New York City they do have that too. Like if you're gonna leave the baby behind, take the baby to a hospital. You could take the baby to any emergency room and whatever. And there's also safe. They call it safe. They have signs all over Yonkers about that. Usually it's near hospitals or fire department houses where they have this called safe hands, and I believe it's called safe hands. Is where you can, if whatever reason you know how maybe this woman was going through some. Not maybe I'm pretty sure she is. Maybe she's thinking about hurting herself, and she says, you know what, and I don't want, which is I won't get the whole thing about that, but that's probably maybe the reason why she did that. She just said, I'm gonna leave the baby over here, and I'm gonna go handle my own issues. We don't know. We don't know so far. But luckily that this baby, nothing happened to the baby, which is sad to see. Precious baby. I don't want. What would anybody want to abandon a baby? It's just sad. And this happened, and so she was. I know she was caught or identified and arrested uh, early yesterday. And I didn't want to talk about that yesterday because it was New Year's, and I didn't want to. And then, of course, the thing that happened in New Orleans, I'm like, this is like bizarre world happening in the last 24 hours. I hope it's not a sign that this year is going to be tumultuous. I know I said what I said last night about, I'm looking forward to January 20th. I am looking forward to that because of common sense. I mean, when you hear this press conference and they don't identify the person that mowed down all those people because they're trying to be politically correct, it's fucking inexcusable. I'm sorry. Like, we already know he's a Muslim. He was a Muslim, probably came over here over the border. Nobody vetted him. I know Matthew says, what is it? Can we have peace and love around the world? Yeah, but when people, you understand, there's countries out there that hate us. That's it. They just hate us. They hate us. They just hate us for whatever reason, because of our way of life or whatever. And they're gonna do whatever they can. They're gonna say, you know what, and the ones that I really, get under my skin are the ones that come here. The ones that come here and they don't want to assimilate. Like you go to a country, the host country takes you and tries to give you a better life, and this is how you repay them. You don't want to assimilate. You want to impose your own third world values on people. Like, I'm sorry, we don't stone people. We don't stone women for adultery. You know, we don't do things like that here. And when you have these people come here and they want to simulate not simulate, they want to bring their third world fucking values here. And we just fucking look the other way because we don't want to offend people. That's what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens. You know? Like when he's saying they don't want to identify the guy on the radio right now. They're really like skirting the questions about the guy. Because they already reported it that the guy had an ISIS flag and all this stuff. So, you know, they want to keep calling him the lone wolf or whatever. No, it's not a lone wolf. It's organized. You know, it's an organized attack. You know, I'm sick and tired of people getting offended over shit. This is why we voted for this guy not coming in, because we got fed up with his shit. You know? The same thing when you're taking the subway, all this, Sam Kinison made a joke about it a long time. I'm going to say the joke. I don't care if people don't like it. I'm not going to say the actual joke. But if you remember Sam Kinison, he made a joke about dealing with the homeless. I'm going to say, I don't care. And he joked about it. And it was kind of funny. It is kind of funny. He said, I could solve the homeless problem in a minute. So he went on and said that he basically said to shoot the homeless. That's what he said. So he said basically if Stinky, he kind of really described it, and he said he has a gun, and he says the guy was yo, can I have some money, and whatever, and he's telling him he points it at him and he says, well, either you take a job or I'm gonna shoot you. So it was two homeless guys. So he shot the other guy next to him. Bam! I know it's bizarre and it sounds kind of morbid that I'm saying this. And that's the joke. That was the joke. And then the other homeless guy said, okay, what about you? Because you want to work or you want? No, I don't want to. Boom. That's it. Okay, next. You want to work? He goes, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. And I'm not saying, do that. But I'm saying, like, what I'm trying to say is, stop making excuses for all these fucking homeless people in the street now. I'm sorry, we live in a country, I know rent is high and all this shit, but I'm gonna tell you, the ones that I know that are homeless is because they fucking either burned too many bridges, because they were doing drugs, they were stealing from their own people. Because I know I had a brother like that. Believe me, I'm telling you this shit. Okay? They burned too many fucking bridges, and they just weren't their welcome, and nobody wants them. That's what it is. It's not fucking rent is. I know rent is fucking ridiculously high, but it's and I feel for those rent. But a majority of them, there you go. Thank you, Different Gear TV, because I'm telling you, I worked the 311. I heard every excuse in the book over the phone. There's plenty of help. When you go to 311, when you call 311 here, 311 is a number where you call, you want services and all that. Like I'm gonna read your comment. 99% of the homeless don't want to work. That's a fact. Thank you. They don't want to help themselves. There's plenty of assistant programs. There's plenty of everything if you want to help yourself. Okay? It's just, it comes with rules. Just like if you stay in a shelter. You cannot be in a shelter fucking drunk all day or high. No, you get kicked out of the shelter. They have curfew. You cannot be all night partying out. Come home, come in the shelter at 3 a.m. and disturb everybody. No, it doesn't happen that way. And these are the people that they just don't abide by rules. They just don't want to deal with it. They'd rather be out on the street, bothering everybody else. Laying up on a train. You're here trying to go. You're here trying to go to work in the morning. You get up early in the morning. You know how many times that happened to me? I had to get up early in the morning, and I'm taking the subway. I'm still half asleep, even though I had a cup of coffee. And I don't want to sit next to a smelly fucking guy. He smells like shit. I'm sorry. I don't want to fucking deal with that. I got to go to work. Okay? I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. Or the guy laying up on a whole fucking bench inside the subway, inside the train, I mean. You understand? I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. So I'm sorry if I'm not sympathetic to the fucking homeless right now. And this is the problem. We too fucking, poor, no fucking poor nothing. A lot of them don't want to help themselves. I'm sorry. If I sound ignorant, well, I don't give a fuck. Okay? It's my truth. But that's a fact. Because I've been there. I seen many people I grew up with. The ones that are in it. Oh, I mean, where you been at? I've been in and out. In and out of what? In and out of jail. Well, there you go. They chose that fucking life. You understand? So I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this fucking. That's why we finally got fed up. That's why this guy fucking won by a landslide. Hell, I know some liberals are gonna be out there. Well, you know, he's Hitler. Get the fuck out of here. We got fed up because you guys are making excuses for all these fucking shit that's going on here. It's your fault that all this shit's going on here. All this shit making excuses for them. No, a lot of them don't want to help themselves. Okay? Believe me, I handled many calls that they were like, you know, I'm looking for a place to stay. Okay, well, are you single or you it's a family unit? No, I'm single. Okay, so you got to go to this intake and you got to bring these documents with you and you got to explain to them the rules. And the rules are you can't bring a weapon. That means you can't even bring a fucking knife and not even a butter knife. You cannot bring alcohol in there. You cannot bring, obviously, drugs. You're not even allowed to smoke a cigarette in there. No place in the world allows smoking anymore. The last time I checked, you can't smoke in any public place. You're not allowed to smoke anymore. We understand these people they're probably, a lot of them are probably mentally ill because probably all the fucking drugs they did in their fucking lifetime. But I mean, wow, what a fucking shocker. And that's what's happening. You know? So I'm not, again, this fucking guy, homeless guy pushes the fucking guy off the platform. You know, come on, like. And then, of course, people are going to be afraid to react. You know, like what happened. Like, you know, like I said, if I'm working in the city, I've been tempted many times years ago. I used to work in the city and somebody acts up on the train. I just want to fucking, I swear to God, I just want to fucking ram my fist right through his fucking head, right through his fucking face. But I had to think about it. I said, no, but what if I do that? This is before, of course, Daniel Penny and all this. This is many years ago. And I always thought about that. I don't want to get involved because if I get involved, I'm the one that's going to get arrested. I'm the one that's going to go through trial. I'm the one and especially, you know, like me, you know, I already been arrested a few times in my life. I don't want to deal with this shit. And then they bring that shit up and say, oh, yeah, this guy. And then they'll throw the book at me. And then I get fucked. I screw my life up for some fucking bum in the street that doesn't fucking deserve the fucking attention that he's trying to get himself. Give me a fucking break. And this is the fucking problem. And I blame some of you fucking people out there for making excuses for them. Stop making excuses for them. You know what they need to do is clean up the trains. Like zero tolerance. You're not allowed to fucking lay up on the train. Come on. You know, you shouldn't. If that train should be there for people to go to their destination and come back. They should have to deal with, which I had to deal with many years ago, where you sit down on the fucking train, fucking guy wants to sit next to you, fucking stinks, or better or worse, he wants to lay next to you, fucking put his feet up there, whatever the fuck he wants to do. No, people are gonna get fed up. People getting fed up with that shit. It's what happened in the 90s when we elected Giuliani as a mayor. Remember the whole shit with the panhandling, with the squeegee men? And I told you about that story that happened to us. And I told the guy, I said, if you, you know, I was with my friend. My friend was driving And he just finished cleaning the car. And the squeegee, we were about to get on the on-ramp on the highway, and this fucking squeegee guy comes up. He's about to touch his car. And he said, Danny, I don't know. So I said, let me handle it. I got out the car and I said, listen, if you touch that windshield, I'm going to take that squeegee. I'm going to shove it up your fucking ass. Now get the fuck out of the way. That's what I told him. And he looked at me. He thought about it because he kept on. He was persistent. Before I got out the car, he was like, I'm going to wash your window. I said, no, you're not. He had a dirty water bottle with some fucking dirty soapy water in there. And he had a fucking squeegee that looked like his fucking, I'm going to wash your window. And we look at him. No, you don't. Stay away from my car. And he was about to squirt the shit. And I got out. I said, and right there, my friend is like, oh, no. Because he's not confrontational. Not that I'm confrontational, but I'll get out and fucking say it. I'll get it in people's faces. I don't care. So I said, let me handle it. I said, listen, if you touch that windshield, I'm going to take that squeegee. I'm going to shove it up your fucking ass. Now get the fuck out of my way. And he was, I said, get out of the way. And he got out the way because he knew what was going to happen. I was going to literally shove it up his ass. So he said, okay, I ain't going to fuck with this angry guy. Now get the fuck out of the way. Of course, now we got the fucking stop oil fucking people laying on the road and all this shit. You know, because we make excuses for all these fucking people. The same shit, disrupting. And people got their lives to you know, life is already hard as it is. People trying to go to work or go to school and all that. And now you got these fucking people everybody making excuses for. Oh, these poor people. No, they don't want to fucking be helped. So why don't you do something about it? Either, you know, impose some strict fucking rules and say you cannot lay down on a fucking subway car and take a nap. Okay? I'm sorry. You know, you're not allowed to lay, you know, take a whole bunch of lay fucking down and put fucking newspaper over you and fucking act like it's your bed. Fuck you. If you don't want to go to a fucking shelter, it's available to you. Believe me. In a major city like New York City, there is a lot of services available to people. It's just a lot of people don't take advantage of it because they don't want to take advantage of it. They don't want the strings attached to it. They don't want to go by the rules. You know, like curfew. Like what happened to that Guatemalan guy that burned that woman alive. You know, that particular shelter should be liable because that shelter, from what the reports happened after that shelter allowed people to go in and out there drunk. And he was drunk. Allegedly, he was drunk. He didn't know what the hell he was doing, and he set that woman on fire. Okay, and he was staying at a shelter. Okay, so you people out there with the PC shit, stop making excuses for these fucking people. Just stop it. I'm telling you right now. I grew up with a lot of people in listen. My brother and I, my brother next door, we all grew up in the same fucking area. Okay, we had no pot to piss on. Okay, and stop making fucking excuses for people that they've been poverty. I've been there, bro. I've been fucking homeless myself. Okay, and we didn't make no fucking excuses about that shit. We figured a way out to fucking, you know, and lucky for us that's what happened. Now there's some of our brothers and sisters, or my kid, my brothers, and people that I grew up with, didn't stay in the straight and narrow. Yeah, of course. I grew up with a few that, you know, they just didn't want to work. They just never wanted to work in their life. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to do nothing with their life. All they want to do is fucking do drugs and sell drugs and rob people. Yeah, I know. I grew up around people like that too. All they want to do is the quick buck. They're willing to fucking rob their own mother. Okay, steal from their own fucking family. Okay, and people stop making excuses for these people. This is why this whole PC shit is dangerous. Like this guy that mowed down all these fucking. I'm sorry. Like this fucking guy that mowed down these poor people that were just having a good time. They just out there having a good time. And we saw a few last night. on the live stream. I was showing the camera, and I showed those two women that were just having fun. Those poor people got attacked because of one fucking policy. And we don't want to offend a whole fucking religion of peace. It drives me fucking nuts. I'm sorry. I get angry about it because it shouldn't have to be this way. This is really avoidable. It really is avoidable. I could name many things that from last night. I said it right off the bat when I saw that truck. I said, why is this truck here? Why is that big truck in the middle of Bourbon Street just, if you're going to lock down the street, lock it down. Especially there's going to be a lot of people there. I got to catch my breath. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I'm just flying off the deep end, but I'm sorry. Yeah. Just makes me angry. That the direction that, and this is a result of people got fed up and they voted because they voted with we had to vote for common sense. This has got to stop. We got to deport a lot of people. A lot of these fucking people that are criminals, murderers, and all. We got to get rid of them. This is going to happen. This is going to happen again. We're making excuses for all this fucking nonsense. Come here the right way. Come here legally, like my wife did. My wife and my wife, her mother, the family, they all came here legally. They had to wait their turn. I believe it took. I think it took about 10 years for my wife to become a full citizen. Okay, for my wife to become a full citizen. Okay, that means that they came from Suriname. They're legally. My wife went to high school here. She graduated out of high school. When I met her, she was in college. She graduated from college. She's been working since she was 16 years old. And when I met her, we met in college. And she was working at a discount store with her family, with her sister. They worked at a discount store, making minimum wage. And now she's, 15 years in as a telemetry technician. She's 20 plus years in healthcare industry. And she's doing pretty well. Because you know what? They didn't make excuses. They came here. They knew what they wanted. They respect the law, and that's it. Unlike this bullshit that's happening now, we're making excuses for all these fucking people. It really needs to stop. It really needs to stop. It's gonna destroy this country. And it's happening a lot of countries around the world where they just this whole political correctness shit. Like, oh my God, you cannot offend these people, and then they're out in the street because they don't want to assimilate. They don't want to assimilate. They want to bring their third world fucking values into a modern society. And we're letting this shit happen. We need to stop this. We need to stop this. All right, there goes my vent. Sorry, folks. I had to vent. This is why I came on. This really bothered me. When I woke up this morning and I heard about that, it really bothered me. And then, of course, when I hear this press conference, they don't want to name the guy, and they don't want to say, this is the problem with all this stuff. I'm sorry, I just vented, and it really bothers me. Yeah, Matthew, I would like to have peace, and I'm hoping that, he said it. He's going to try to talk to these Ukrainian Russians, try to get them to end this, and then we'll see about the other conflict. But really, one person, one country can only do so much. It's just crazy. Different gear TV. No, I don't want to get into the whole thing. Was it this bad when he was in office? No, it was. I don't want to get into the whole thing about that. It's just it's just I don't want to talk about it. I'm not that I'm afraid to talk about it. I just don't want to talk about it. Prolonged talk about it. Should I say? I'll just put it this way. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that because it's just gonna keep going on and on about it. I'm just hoping that what I'm hoping for is that, like I said, the people have spoken, and the opposition needs to just cut it out. Cut it out with the trying to torpedo or sabotage everything, every bill that we're gonna try to pass. Like I know the first thing that's gonna happen is he's probably gonna pardon the January 6th people, most of them, the ones that shouldn't be in there in jail. I agree with that. Not everybody. I think some went overboard. Yeah, but I think most of them he should pardon them right away. They're already long enough. The Keystone Pipeline, open that up. Major thing right there. And of course, mass deportation. That's it. Round up all the criminal, crazy, you know, the ones that are really the baddest of the baddest. Yeah, get them out of here. Put them on a plane. I don't want to make a deal with it. Even if their own country don't want them back, make a deal with another country. Say, you know what, we'll give you X amount of dollars. Just take them, and that's it. And that's it. Because that was by design. Like we all know that was by design. Venezuela opened up their jails to send all the criminals here. Same thing Cuba did back in 1980. A lot of them were, not all. I'm not saying when I say all of them, please, I don't people get all pissy. But in the mix, there was a lot of criminals in there that they just opened up the jails or the asylums and the asylums. So it's the same playbook. And a lot of other countries did the same thing. And then he doubles down recently and commutes a few death penalty convictions. People have no fucking common sense whatsoever. None. Yeah, different gear. Happy New Year. It's off to a great start, but you know what? I don't think this day is gonna be a microcosm of it. I think it's just I don't want to blame it. I refuse to blame it on, oh yeah, here we go. Off to a good start. No, I'm not gonna blame it on that. I'm not one of those people that one event was gonna dictate the whole year for me. That's not me. I never did that. I never did that. I made that mistake once. I let one event really get to me for a long time. To the point where I really was clinically depressed. And until I went to get help on that, when I went to actually speak to someone on a regular basis, a therapist and so on, a psychologist and a psychiatrist, I knew it was like I was like, what was I thinking? You cannot get down on yourself, things that you have no control over. And I mention every so often, you cannot worry about things you have no control over. You can't worry about them. The things that you have control over, or the things that you have some kind of input on, those are the things that, of course, you focus on. I know people that get upset but watch all this stuff over and over. I can't do that. I don't watch the news a lot anymore. I don't even listen to a lot of radio in terms of talk radio recently because, the election is over. I know when you go on TikTok, I go on TikTok just to add a few people, and that's it. I don't be on TikTok. I skip. You know what I repost on TikTok a lot? Cute doggies, cute kittens. Or something funny, and that's it. Something lively and funny. That's it. All that other stuff, I just go by it. There's always live streams about how much they hate this guy. There's a live stream about how much they hate this person. I never go in those places. I just scroll. I just scroll. That's it. I don't got time for that. I really don't have time for that. I don't got time to engage with people that, they just they hate the place. They hate who they hate. That's it. You know, I don't got time for that. I just don't have time for it because you're just wasting your time. What are you gonna do? Engage with them? You're gonna try to convince them that your point of view is, I don't got time for that. I don't have time for that. You know, the only thing you can do is worry about your health, yourself. Take care of yourself, which I haven't been doing a good job lately. As you can see, the weight issue. My family, my son, my wife. That's it. I can't. Did this bother me? It did bother me because we could have witnessed it. If I would have had that webcam on at 3 in the morning, I still would have been on live. We probably would have witnessed it live here, the attack. But I was gone by midnight. After midnight, I was gone. I was done with my live stream, and then I went to bed around 1:30 last night. 1:30 in the morning, around there. And when I woke up early this morning, I heard that. I'm like, wow. I was like, you know, well, you saw it. You saw it with me last night. My memories were they were having a good time. They were out there having a good time, especially when we saw you know, when we saw the two women there, and one of them was clearly drunk. You could tell, and she just wanted to be in front of that camera. She was like, "Ah," with the cup in her hand and all that. And then we saw the Marie Antoinette dress woman. At first, I thought it was a drag, but it looked like it's a woman. I mean, I could, who knows what they're, who knows? I mean, probably was a drag. I don't know. And then we saw Jack Sparrow. One was dressed as Jack Sparrow, and we saw one was dressed like Jesus Christ. And they're just walking down Bourbon Street, and everybody's having a good time. And you see couples together walking back and forth. You see families walking together. You know. And then when I wake up this morning, I hear that somebody mowed down all these people. And of course, you're gonna get down because you're gonna say, "What's wrong with people? Why can't people just?" But you gotta understand, you're dealing with a collection of people that are just sick. They need to be put away. Just put them away. That's it. Instead, we're doing the opposite. We're doing this whole opposite thing. Oh, we need to let more people out. Come on. Yeah. Married DX. Yeah. When I heard the news of the attack straight away, I remember the Earth Cam. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here today because we're talking about the Earth Cam. Hello, Glenn Dancer. Happy New Year. Though right now it's this bizarro news. Yeah. Be back later on, Married DX. Yeah. I'm not gonna be on for too long today, not super duper long. I just wanted to be on for a few minutes because I'm cleaning. I was cleaning up here a little bit, but also, this whole thing with the this New Orleans attack. It's crazy. Different Gear TV. They showed his face on Sky News. Not sure how long that's been out. Yeah, I saw the picture. I did see that on Fox News. The because I have the Roku. I have the Roku TV, so I put on the Fox News streaming one, and they show the picture of the guy, and I forgot his name, and obviously he's Muslim, whatever. Yeah. So I seen the. I can't remember the name of the time. I know it's definitely some, and clearly it was an intended attack. Reports are that he had not only he mowed down people with a car, but I believe he's dead too. I think they killed him too. I think he had a couple of Glock pistols, 9 millimeter, and I believe that he also when he mowed down the people, he got out of his pickup and started shooting at people, and then he was finally shot by police, and the police killed him. So yeah. Different gear TV. 99% of the homeless don't want to work. That's a fact. It is I'm gonna agree with you. It is. I agree. Um, a lot of major cities. Well, here in the United States, there's a lot of services for people that want to get help, especially if you have a drug problem or you have an alcohol problem or whatever. If you want to get help, there's plenty of help. Or if you have a problem working, if you can't work, why you can't work. Do you have a disability? There's a whole thing go through that. You know, um, is rent high? Yeah, rent is ridiculously high, and I feel for those people and that's why that's the other thing that really and it's more of a cultural thing. For example, like I'm a Latino, I'm a Hispanic. Our family, to be honest, uh, our family couldn't have survived growing up together if we didn't stick together. You see, in some cultures, and I'm threading the needle here. I'm threading this. In some cultures, they're really taught to just compete with each other. Like there's no sense of family. And again, some of that could be attributed to maybe this person was a horrible person in their past. And my wife's job, for example, at the hospital, sometimes there's people in there that nobody comes to see them. Elderly people, and not even elderly people. I'm talking about people people that are in the hospital. They're sick. Nobody comes to visit them, and you got to wonder why. And a lot of it is because nobody wants to deal with them. They were either a horrible person. They were a horrible person or something. Just nobody. And I believe that. I believe that if you was a selfish, horrible person in the past, don't expect people to mourn you when you're gone. Or those people will remember you. You know, and that's the case for And but in our culture, first in my family, my mother, um, God bless her, and I miss her all the time. She was the glue of our family. She was the glue of our family because as soon as she was gone, our family fractured. We were fell apart. When she was here, when she was alive, I never saw the behavior of these people the way they were, the way they are. They never. I mean, there was glimpses of it, but my mother always kept us in check. But the minute she was gone, all that greediness came out of them. Like greediness, I want this, I want the house, I want you know, you know. It was disgusting. And then two hiding among themselves, plotting like, oh, I don't know where we're gonna lose the house, but I don't know where you're going. I don't know where you're going, but I know where I'm going. That type of attitude. Like, are you kidding me? You know, I knew where I was going, and if I could bring them all here, I would. I swear to God, I had a plan to reunite everybody here in this house. I did. I had a plan. I had a plan. These rooms were gonna be vacant one day, and one brother was gonna stay in that room. My other brother was in the other room. My sister would be on this. My other brother would have took the basement, and my family, my wife and my son, would have been on the first floor. And I would have kept the family together because my mother would want that. Okay? My mother would want that. And I wanted that. More importantly, I wanted that. And that didn't happen. That didn't happen. As much as I tried, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And we have a lot of that. We have a lot of that today. People just, even brothers and sisters, they compete with each other. Especially the number one issue is money. Money. Money or relationship. You know, relationship. But money is number one. Money is number one. By a lot, is number one. And that's what happened. You know, they just thought they were gonna make money off the house, sell it, and whatever. Or they can't. You know what I mean? They just they threw the rest of us under the bus. We holidays went by here. Did I get a call from any of them? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year? No, I didn't get a call at all. And they live right there, right in the Bronx. Did I get a call from them? No. Have I reached out to them many times? I have, but I gave up. About 4 years ago, I finally gave up. I said I'm not reaching out to them no more. My wife tried to reach out to them a couple of more years after I stopped. Disgusting. So I'm done with them. You know, this one goes over there to have dinner with them. You know, that's fine. You know, whatever. That's why I keep saying it. You could only do so much. You could worry about what you can control. What can you only worry about things that you can achieve or do for yourself or do for others. Or you can't worry about the stuff that you have no control over. You just can't even think about it because it'll drive you nuts. I know my wording is not exactly, why did he just say that? Yeah. But and that's what happened. With them, I stopped. I stopped worrying about them. And what I mean by that is I had to stop caring about them because my wife would look at me like, why you like it was getting obsessive. Why are you trying to keep this family together when they don't want to be together? And I look at my son and I say, you know what, son, let this be a lesson to you. Not every family member is going to be with open arms. You know, you may have a lot of relatives by blood, but they might as well be strangers to you because they're not going to welcome you with open arms. And that's what happened to us. That's what happened to me with them. They're never gonna welcome me with open arms. In fact, I'm sure they probably hate me because I've done pretty good for myself without their help. So, you know. RRTO8. Did you get the super chat? Yeah, I saw it, and it takes a couple of more days to get posted on my. It takes about another couple of days before it gets posted to my balance. So I'll keep track. I know it's $9.99, and thank you very much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. I can check it right now. Actually, I'll check it on my YouTube app here. Just give me a minute. Let me check it. I did see it. I saw it. This is right before I saw it, and I was like, "Wow, thank you very much." So I did receive it, but I want it takes a couple of more days to get posted because, of course, they verify this transaction, and then, of course, they take their 30%. So if I go to let me see, earn, and then I go to let me see, what can I go to for that? Let me see. Supers. And so So it doesn't say right here. I have to go. I know on my computer it says it on the dashboard. On my computer it'll say it on the dashboard. I'm trying to see where I can see it. On the app it's not so much. But on the let me see if I go here. Let me see. Not this one. I think it's the last one. Is it this one? Not. I think I have to wait. I have to wait another 24 hours, and then it'll get posted. It'll show up. It'll show up on the thing, because that's always the case. Anytime anybody does a super chat, it takes about 24 hours. Then I'll see it there. Then I guess in other words, once it clears, then they add that to the balance. And thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Different YouTube. I remember when I lived in the UK and worked in London, getting asked for money from people when I have very little myself. Exactly, that's another thing. It's I don't. I was about. I'm gonna say it. I kind of find it annoying and insulting at times when. And when I mean by insulting, I mean I don't get grossly insulted. Oh my God, how dare you? No. What I mean is you could clearly tell. Call it profiling. I don't care what people call it. You could clearly tell that this person doesn't want to be helped because like me in the local neighborhood, we have a couple of them. In this local neighborhood, since I moved here, there's about four people that are so-called down and out that are always in the street. They're always either begging in the street, and you could tell. And half of the time when you see them, they're high. Either they're high or they're drunk. And I know one of them, sometimes I see him, at least one of them, I seen him like help out the super down the block. There's a super that runs a whole bunch of buildings down there. And sometimes he helps them out with taking out the garbage and all that. So at least he tries to earn some money. And he does, I think, check out the garbage. There's a house down here too, I believe. And I see him taking out that garbage. I know he doesn't live there. He takes out the garbage. So at least he tries to earn money. But you figure at some point, try to get your life in order. Like, like clearly, at least he has some work ethic. What I mean by that, at least when he's out there, at least trying to throw out the garbage. Okay, at least he's trying to earn something. So that's one of them. The other one, he's definitely mentally ill. This is a Hispanic guy. He's definitely mentally ill. In fact, one time I was going to knock him out because he was harassing my wife at the light. My wife was coming home from work and she was waiting right there she was a block away from my house. And she's there because there's a stoplight right down there, a traffic light, intersection right down there. So he's like walking in front of her and he starts banging on the hood. And he's telling her to give me some money or something like that. Or he's trying to, I forgot what he was. And she told me, she came home, she was a little upset. And I've seen the guy many times. He's always out there bothering people. So I didn't see him. I'm sorry. And I ran into him. I confronted him. Actually, this was a little over a week ago. So during the pandemic, I guess he disappeared. But when that happened, I said, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. And then we were going somewhere, with my son, and I think we were going to Walmart or something, and she pointed him out. And I said, oh, that's that guy? Okay, when I see him, I'm gonna talk to him. What I mean by that is I was gonna, I'm gonna get in his fucking face. That's what I was gonna do. That's what I mean by talking to him. And then I never saw him again. I never saw the guy again. Because he's kind of like annoying. I seen him harass people. So about 2 weeks ago, I go into the bodega down here, and he's standing right there. I open the door, he's standing right, and he's looking at me like he wants to hurt me. He's looking at me like And I remember everything coming back to me. Oh, this is the fucking guy that was harassing my wife. So I went up to him. I was gonna go get, because I went to buy some beer, and so I opened up the fridge and I went to check out the beer. And he's looking at me, and I went up to him. I said, "Yo, you got a fucking problem? You got a fucking problem, bro?" I went in his, I got in his face. People, this guy got in front of me. No. I said, "No, I'm gonna know this motherfucker got a problem with me because he's looking at me like he's gonna do something. Because right now, I swear to God, I'll wait for you right outside the store and I'll fucking kick your fucking ass." And then people were like, "Why are you so upset at him?" So the next day, so fine, I paid my beer and I left. But I told him, I said, "You come out here right now, I'm gonna fuck you. You better stay." I told him, "You better stay in that fucking store until you don't see me. Because if you come out here, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass right now." I told him, because all that shit came out. That this is the motherfucker that was harassing my wife. Because I was gonna fix his ass up. And then, so I went home. I didn't tell my wife what happened, and she finds out now. Of course, she's gonna know now through the live stream. I was gonna kick his fucking ass that night. It was like 2 weeks ago. This is just 2 weeks ago. So the next day, the store owner is, he's looking at me, and I explained to him what happened. So no, this fucking guy harassed my wife a couple of years ago, and he disappeared. And then he told me the story. No, he was locked up in some institution. I think he tried to kill himself. And I said, "Oh Jesus!" I say, I knew something was wrong with the fucking guy. And then he shows up, and he just looks at me. He keeps walking, and I'm like, I'm ready to want to pound this guy. And the man is like, and I said, "No, you know what?" I said, "Now that you told me that, my suspicion was that something's wrong with this fucking guy. He's mental." But it gives him no excuse to be banging on my wife's car and fucking harassing her. Like, that shit better not happen again. So I seen him one other time after that, and I think I was picking up my son from school that day, and he's across the street, just on the corner, mumbling to himself. So I just avoided him. I said, I took my son. I said, "Let me just, I don't want to walk right by him because I'm ready to pounce on this guy. I swear to God, I'm gonna pounce on this guy like nobody's business. That's the way I'm gonna deal with this shit. I'm gonna fucking knock the shit out of this guy. I'm gonna hit him into next week. That's how hard I'm gonna hit him. Because he's been like that for a long time. He bothers people. He shouldn't be out there right now, but harassing people. So the owner said, no, that this guy, I forgot what happened. There was an incident. He tried to kill himself, and he was in the middle of the street. And he shut down traffic. I was like, you can't even be this. So I just told him, no, he needs to stay away from me because I got no sip. I'm done. I said, this guy fucks with me. I'm gonna fucking put him in the fucking emergency room. Stay the fuck away from me. That's what I told him. I said, stay the fuck away from me. You see me, fucking avoid me. Seriously. I fucking had a meltdown in the store. And people were looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? And I explained to him the next day. I said, no, this guy fucking harassing my wife. He was banging. She told me what happened. She's waiting for the light, and he crosses right in front of her, walking, and he starts banging on the hood, like a crazy fucking guy, like the crazy motherfucker he is. And then I literally started tapping on her window, like, yo, can you give me some money? And she's like, get the fuck away from me. Like she knew not to open the window. She's like, get the fuck away. And then as soon as the light changed, she left. She came home. And she didn't tell me that night. She told me like a few days after that when we were going to Walmart, and the guy was right there. And she said, yeah, that's the motherfucker right there that was harassing me the other night. The other night. And I was like, that guy. I said, oh my God, you talking about this fucking guy? He's always bothering everybody. And that's why I'm telling you, I got no sympathy for this shit. Because he shouldn't be out there bothering people. And then the other two people that I always see out there are the, so-called ladies of the night. In other words, crack whores. And one of them actually talked back to me. One time I was coming from the store, and she's just mumbling, fucking, probably high as a kite. Ooh. And then I looked at her, and I just kept walking. She said, what the fuck you looking at? And I looked around and said, excuse me? Yeah, what the fuck? I said, you better shut the fuck up before I go over there and knock the shit out of you. I don't give a fuck who you are. I told her like that. I didn't give a fuck. I was livid. Because she kept fucking, she tried this. What the fuck you looking at? Where the fuck? I fucking get the fuck out of me. She just mouthing me off. And I told her, I said, you better shut the fuck up. You better keep walking. You don't know who you fucking with. You know, I don't care. I don't care. I'll fucking knock the shit out of you and I'll keep walking. I don't care. You're not gonna fucking pull that shit on me. You might have got away with somebody else doing that shit, but you're not coming into my face with that shit. And then all of a sudden, I told her, you better shut up. I'll knock. When I do that, I'm gonna knock the shit out of you. She looked at me like, I said, that's right. Keep walking. Keep walking. Go get your fucking crack and get the fuck out of my face. This type of shit I deal with. I'm not gonna. You talk to me like that. I tell you, I'm just trying to come home. I got my bag. I got my grocery bag. I'm walking home. Where the fuck you looking at? Where the fuck you out? I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up. I don't care how high you are. I'll fucking knock your ass into next week. I'll knock your ass into next week. The hell out of here. Better take that shit somewhere else. Better save it for somebody named David. Don't bring that shit over here. And that's what you gotta be, because you gotta understand that if you don't come out like that, they'll fucking walk all over you. Like that squeegee guy. He would have put that dirty water on the windshield, and you would have been there like, I don't want to lay my hand on this guy because I don't want to get in trouble. Or that fucking guy 2 weeks ago, I told him, when you see my face now, you better fucking avoid me. I don't care what fucking mental issues you have. You're going to remember this fucking face. You're going to remember this face. When you see this face, you better fucking cross the street. Don't fucking bother me. Don't ask me for a fucking dime. Stay the fuck away from my fucking lane and leave me the fuck alone. I just want to go from A to Z. That's it. That's it. I don't want to be bothered with your fucking issues. Your issues are not my issues. You understand? That's it. Oh, okay. I don't give a fuck. That's not my issue. You put yourself, you fucking made that bed. You go fucking lie in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Getting different gear TV. Yeah, let me read the rest of the statement. Getting asked for money from people that when I have very little myself. Exactly. You trying to just go to work. You have to get up and go to work. And it's probably a job that you don't really you're not thrilled about, but you have to work because you need money. You have to pay a mortgage. You have to pay utilities. You got to put food on the table. A lot of these guys don't have a care in the fucking world. They don't have kids. They're not raising kids. They don't care about having kids. They don't care about having making a significant impact in other people's life. They just take everything. A lot of people are very selfish people, or sociopath, or worse, a psychopath people. They have no empathy for anything. Why should I care about these people? You know? Yeah, sometimes they have probably more than what I had when I was working. Exactly. Different gear TV. I heard that they can. Yeah, I seen videos on that they actually can make a panhandle, especially in New York City, can make up to $200 a day. At least $200 a day. Panhandling. $200 a day. I'm not talking about collecting cans. I'm just talking about straight up panhandling. Average from $100 to $200 a day. Not to mention, sometimes they get a cup of coffee here and there, or they get a sandwich. I remember I mentioned the story before. There was one time that when I was working late. I think I came home late from I was doing overnight. I was working overnight. I used to work at this bodega where I had to work overnight, and I was tired. I went to the local deli, diner type place. I was having a breakfast, and I was finishing my breakfast, and I had a toast left, and I had some. I had toast, and I had a couple of strips of bacon left and some hash brown. And the guy, literally, I'm eating. He stands right fucking next to me. Yo, you have money for food? I said, well, I don't have money for food right now because I didn't. I said, but I'll give you, you can eat the rest of this breakfast. The guy said, no. He said, no. I said, then get the fuck out of my face. I told him, get the fuck out of my face because clearly you're not coming here to fucking get money for food. So get the fuck out of my face. And then the diner guy threw him out. He said, hey, get the fuck out of here. Stop bothering my customers. And he kicked him out. Because I'm eating and he's standing right there. Right fucking here. I'm fucking tired. I did a fucking 8-hour, 9-hour shift overnight. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. I'm fucking crusty eye. I want to go to sleep. I want to go home and go to sleep. And this guy comes up to me, you got money for... Yeah, you can tell he's fucking. And I said, well, I have half a breakfast, and I'll give it a cup of coffee because I didn't drink the coffee. Because I normally don't drink the coffee with breakfast. Because you can have this, and oh no, I don't want that. I want money. I said, get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. You fucking interrupted me. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry. Just can't fucking deal with shit like that. That's why we got to stop making excuses for all this shit. Yeah, I'm telling you. I saw a video a couple of years or so ago. Average panhandler, especially if you have a real nice, if you're really you good with like a cardboard and things like that, or if you go to a prime location, like for example in Manhattan, if you go down to like Lower Manhattan, well, right now you got migrants all over there, so the migrants are actually ruining it for those homeless people because now there's too many of them. So the migrants actually roaming around the streets down there ruined it. But before that, there's people that they had this particular spot, they could make a couple of $100, especially around the holidays. Or they probably make more. They could probably clock in the dollars on the holidays. But so that guy, you got money? I said, yeah, no, I don't got money, but I'll give you you can have the rest of my breakfast. If you're really hungry, you're gonna eat it, right? If you're really hungry, you're gonna eat the breakfast, right? No, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I already knew. I just tried to bait him, and then he fell for it like a dumbass. He fell for a hook, line, and sinker. That's a Happy New Year, my friend. Yeah. Different Gear TV. The first press I saw of the attack, the lady mayor said it was a terrorist attack. Then the FBI woman said it wasn't. See, they're not even on the same page. Clearly, it's a terrorist attack. What is the reason that it's not a terrorist attack? It is a terrorist attack. Anytime that you inflict harm on other people for no reason, whatever, he has no reason. It's a terrorist attack. It's especially in his case, he knew that he was not gonna be captured alive. When he came out of that vehicle and shot people, he knew that there was a chance he was gonna get shot too. He was gonna get shot by police. And so So it's premeditated. It's premeditated. I'm not a lawyer, but it sounds like it's premeditated, obviously. So this has been simmering in his sick head for a long time. Just crazy. Tasso, yeah, a lot of mental illness out there. Yeah. But the problem is this, I'm gonna say there's always been mental illness. It's just now we're making more excuses for it. You know? Mental illness always been around. Um, I knew many people that there was something going on with them. Some of them were probably like I knew a lot. I knew of quite a few of them that were harmless. They were just, some people call them eccentric. Some people call them eccentric. Some people call them, some people would have called that. For example, there's one man I remember. He was a very, you could tell he was a little. Maybe he had schizophrenia too. He used to always talk to himself a lot. I would see him talk to himself a lot. But he was not a violent person. He was very jovial. When he see you, he would say hello, and he was very jovial, happy. But sometimes when he was when he was standing there by himself in front of the door, in front of his apartment, sometimes you could see him. He's talking to himself, and he starts getting into literally, he's really into a conversation with himself. And it doesn't bother. When I walk by him and he sees me, he's, "Oh, Danny, how you doing, Danny?" And I would say hi to him, and you know, and you know, those things. Now today, that would be like, "Oh my God, there's something really wrong with that guy." No, it's just he's not bothering anybody. It's the ones that they start bothering people. Those are the ones that you got to pay attention to. You understand? The ones that start lashing out on people, those are the ones that you got to consider. Okay, because this could be violent now. Not that guy. The guy that I'm talking about, he's very jovial. And the other guy that I used to know, he passed away a long time ago. He was a homeless guy. The other guy was a homeless guy, but he was a homeless guy because he drink he used to do a lot of heavy drugs when he was younger, and he just drinks all day. The guy I talk about, but he was never violent or anything. In fact, he used to always joke with me like, "Danny, Danny, I know you like this girl from this house, and I'm gonna hook you up." I said, "No, no, 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 don't do that." "Yeah, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna talk to her." And I was like, "No, don't do that." And he was always he was a funny guy. He was a funny guy. So he used to always be around that man, the other guy, the schizophrenia guy, and they would just be joking. They'd be talking, Spanish, joking stuff, and every time I see him, he would say hello to me. I say hello to him. We never had a problem. And then one day I never saw the man again, and then I found out that he passed away. And I was sad because he's you know I miss him. He's one of those guys that you can't forget him. He's a colorful character. And even though he had his issues when he was young, um, you could tell that he was like even his nephew. He would always play with his nephew. He would play catch with him and learn how to teach. He was teaching him how to hit the ball. It's just that he couldn't live with his family no more because of what he did in the past. But he would always come around and see his family, see his mother and all that. And then he would be outside with us and we would be playing stickball, whatever. And sometimes he'd be rooting for us and things like that. And then sometimes he would talk about certain topics like, "Oh, when I was your age," and then I was like, "Yeah, okay. I don't need to know all that, but thank you." Because he knew that I had a crush on a particular girl at the time that lived in the building, and he was always telling me, "I know you," yeah. And I said, "No, yeah, yeah. I'll talk to her. I talked to her. I know her mother, and I can put a word for you. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And you know, these people all had issues, but it's not like today. It's not like today. It's not like today. Now you're giving them all these excuses to do harm to others, and that's not the way. That's not the people that I knew growing up. Even when I would take the subway growing up, you had your occasional drunk person, homeless person, but they weren't lashing out at everybody. Not like now. Now there's so much anger. That's another thing. I don't remember being angry, people being on the train so angry. Excuse me. You know, now it's like everybody lashes out on people. I don't remember taking it because I've been taking I've been taking a subway since I was by myself. I think when I was around first time I took the subway by myself, I think was around 12, 12 years old with my friend, you know, and then by myself when I was 13 the following year because I had to go to high school. In the high school, the first high school I went to was in Manhattan, and I lived in the Bronx, so I had to take the subway. I had to take the number 4 train. Every morning, I took the number 4 train to 59th Street, and then I walk a few blocks, and then my school was there. I used to go to art high school of art and design, so I took the subway every day by myself, and it was packed. You know, coming back on rush hour, the train is packed. You like sardines in there with my big portfolio and all that. I'm crushed in there, and that's why I didn't last long in that school. I hated the commute. At that time, 13 years old, and you got to deal with. I wasn't ready for that, and then I wound up getting kicked out of that school, and then I went to a zone school, which is a horrible school that I went to, and then I wound up just not finishing, and I just got my GED. But it seems like today's homeless, we're giving them too much latitude. We're letting them do whatever they want, which is the worst thing to do. You know, they're lashing out on people, and you allow that to happen. You know, and that's the problem. I don't remember that. I don't remember those type of homeless people when I was young. They weren't like that. They weren't lashing out at people. They weren't harassing people. You know, this is a different type of but a lot of it is because they make excuses for them. You know. So yeah, Tasso, there is a lot of mental illness, but I noticed that too, that it is different now. It's like now they're more emboldened to act out because they know they're gonna get away with it more. You know? Yeah, I know, Tasso. I see it in the trains. That's why I'm really reluctant on go to work back in the city because I don't want to deal with that anymore. Not at my age, and I'm with you know. And believe me, I try to walk away from stuff, and I do. You know, that guy 2 weeks ago, I went in the store. As soon as I opened the door from the store, and he's standing right there, he's staring at me. But he's staring at me like I guess he's trying to feel me out. Like, he's looking at me like he's looking at me like he wants to hurt me. And then I'm looking at him and I said it right there. What the fuck is he looking at? And I'm walking by and I'm staring him down at that point. And then I go to the fridge. I get a couple of cans of beer. I put it on the counter. I go because I had to make 2 trips because I'm grabbing 6 of them. I'm getting a 6-pack. So I go back and forth. So the second time I go, so the first time I'm staring him down and I told him, "What the fuck you looking at, bro?" And then I'm walking to the fridge and I'm the whole store is already there. There's a few people there. And I told him, "This fucking guy bother. I'm gonna pound this fucking guy until next week." And then I walk back, and then when I put the beer there, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and then as soon as I finished paying, I went up to his face. That's when I went right up to his face because I was gonna hit him with the bag with all the cans in it, at the expense of blowing up my beer cans on his fucking head. I said, I think I was gonna do the whole bing, 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 bing. But then, you know, people got in the way. No, no more. I said, and I told him, no, he needs to stay the fuck away from me. And I told him when I go out, if he follows me outside, I'm gonna kick his fucking ass. Because I thought that's the next thing he was gonna do. He's gonna follow me outside. Because if he follows me outside, all bets are off. I'm gonna fucking level this guy. I'm gonna lay this guy out. And then when I went outside, I'm standing there, he's just in there, and I guess they get in the middle, they're like, don't go outside. They must have told him, don't go outside. And I told him, come out here, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then I guess when I went home, by the time I got home, I calmed down. And of course, I didn't tell my wife. But then the next day, I spoke to the owner, and then the next day after that, I spoke to the owner's wife because she was there the next day. And I told her, no, I said, this guy, he's in Spanish we say carifreco. That means he's like, what they say, fresh. Because when he did that to my wife, he was harassing her. I don't know, maybe because you don't never know what this guy's probably trying to do. And he was harassing my wife, banging on her car. Who knows when this guy's trying to fucking, get his, trying to get in the car. Who knows what happens? You know what I'm saying? This guy's a serial whatever. Serial, offender. I don't want to use the other words here because I don't want to. But you know what I'm talking about? He could be a serial offender or trying to, And my wife, but my wife had the windows up and everything. And my wife just honked at him like, get the fuck out the way. And my wife just went like this. She told me. And then she finally, the light changed and she was gone. But he don't know how close he was. If he would have came out that store, I was gonna do a number on him. I was gonna load on this guy. And I don't like to say, I'm not proud of that, but I know it would have came out because I don't care who you are. Don't fuck with my wife. Don't mess with my wife. My wife is minding her own business. Don't fucking, I don't care what your fucking malfunction is in life. I don't care if you didn't get enough hugs in your life. I don't care mommy and mommy or daddy and daddy or mommy and daddy or whatever the fucking parents you had or fucking, your parents were a bunch of wolves. Don't fuck with my wife. That's when I fucking draw the line. I don't care who it is. So when I saw him, man, I was livid. Because I didn't see him in 2 years and change since that shit happened. And then everybody was like, no. They got in the way. They broke it up. No. And I told him, I said, you better fuck. I said, don't come out the store because I'm going to kick your fucking ass. I went to the guy's face. I'm getting too old for this stuff, And the guy, he looks like he's about maybe 15 years younger than me, maybe even 20 years younger than me. But I told him, I said, don't, you see me? And I told him, I said, you see me? You see this face? Avoid me. When you see my face, you better fucking avoid me because I swear to God, I will fucking, I'll fucking tear you asshole on your fucking head. I don't care what the fuck. I don't care. The fucking devil will come out of me. Fucking Satan himself will come out of my fucking soul. Fucking do a number on this fucking guy. Don't fuck with my wife. Don't fuck with my wife. Don't even say hi to her because I'm telling you, I told him. I was livid, yo. I was livid. And this is the type of shit we didn't have this type of mental illness back then. People around there, they're really emboldened. They harass people. And I'm not worried about me. I can handle myself. Believe it or not, I can handle myself. I'm 58 years old. I can still handle myself. You know, when I look at my son, that's what I'm trying to teach him. You know what? You need to be more like, you know what? Because, and I'm telling you, this is a cruel world. People will take advantage of you. People will take advantage of you. If you come out there and you a friendly person, you're, you know, I've seen too many crime shows where that happen. I see crime shows where people are too trusting and they open the door for anybody that knocks on the other side of the door. I said, no, 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 no. And that's why you need to get a peephole. Or better yet, get the camera. And get the Ring camera thing. People knock on my door. Because right now, nobody should be knocking on my door. Unless you're delivering a package, and I already got a sign out there. Just drop the package in the alley. Thank you very much. Unless I need a signature, and I get an email for that usually beforehand. And then if I'll be expecting that person. That's it. I don't open the door for anybody. You think I'll open my front door for everybody? Hell no. I don't do that. Because too many home invasion stuff will be happening. I had a tenant here that he used to do that until I kicked his ass out of here. Because he used to open the door for everybody. That's what happened. A building inspector came in here, went up here, and saw the rooms and said, "Oh, these rooms are being rented out." He's opening his big mouth. Yeah, I'm renting this room out. You know, I didn't have a fucking license to rent. So the guy fucked it up for himself. So afterwards, I told Dennis, that's the same one that I knocked out, by the way. That's the same fucking pedophile scumbag that I knocked out. Because I also found out later on that he was a pedophile. So I told him, I said, Dennis, why did you let him in here? Why did you open the door? Why couldn't you just mind your fucking business? You know, like he had to run from up here. He went downstairs, opened the door, and let him in. Because I was looking through my camera and I saw him lurking around. And I'm like, who this fucking guy lurking in front of my house? I was about to open the window. And I said, excuse me, why are you lurking in front of my house? Oh, I'm the building inspector. Okay, well, do you have what is the problem? Oh, I need to go inside. Well, you're not going inside. Unless you have some kind of warrant, you're not coming in my house. I'm not gonna let you in my. I don't care who you are. I don't know you from a hole in the ground. I don't know you from a hole in the ground. You could say who you are. I'm not gonna let you in here. You know? But this jerk off went downstairs and opened the door. And he let him in. So he's going around here writing everything up already. You know? But it turned out to be the other guy that I was already evicting called on me. About, he said that I was renting here legally and all this shit. So he was already on his way out. And then this guy, by him letting him in, he made himself, because then that's when they expect to say, okay, well, this is what's going to happen now. You're going to have to get rid of them. Because if not, we're going to, say you're in violation of, okay. So I said, all right, well, you just gave me the ammunition to get rid of him. Because I couldn't evict him before. And then, of course, later on, I found out that he was a level 2 offender or whatever. And then the guy that lived here, he finally just left later on because he just couldn't pay rent anymore. He actually was down and out. But I said, listen, you can't live here for free. And he was already, he's another nut job I had here. And all these rooms got vacant. But I'm telling you, I don't open the door for nobody. You think I open that front door for anybody? I mean, no. Why are you knocking on my door? And then, because it's I have people knock on my door, Jehovah's Witness or survey. I go through my window. I say, what do you want? No, I can't help you. Okay. Can you get away from my, thank you. Bye. I don't care. I don't got time for that. Don't got time for that. I need to buy one of those signs. No soliciting. Because by law here, if you put that sign up, they're not even allowed to knock on your door. Soliciting wise, they're not even allowed to. If you put no soliciting, they're not even allowed to knock on your door. Only that building inspector, of course, he was trying to get in here. But I would have told him, no, come back with whatever, and then because I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. Get out of here. At least buy me enough time to come up here and say, you know what? Tell them your family. That's it. You're staying up here, and you're my brother-in-law, something. That's it. Whatever. Or you're my wife's sister's my wife's husband, you got separated. In other words, your family with my wife or something. I would have made them, But I already knew what happened. I remember this guy was the one I called on. He eventually admitted it in the courtroom when I took him to the eviction. He admitted outside the courtroom. He didn't. He indirectly admitted it. He just slipped out. I said, "Yeah, I know you did it." But today's homeless are crazy. They're it's just as crazy. And the problem is, again, we're just making excuses for it. We just really making too much excuses for this already. I'm telling you, Sam Kinison, you got to look up that whole Sam Kinison line. The joke about that. I can fix the homeless problem in 2 minutes. And then, what do you want to do? You want to work or you want to be on the street? I really don't want to work. Boom. What about you? Oh, I'll do whatever. Yeah, I'll work. I'll do whatever. I'll do it. Okay. There you go. Problem solved. Next guy. What do you want to do? Sam Kinison was a funny guy. Of course, he passed away a long time ago. He died of a car accident. I believe he was an ordained minister also. But he was one of the funniest guys ever. The guy was funny. These type of stuff you can't say today. It's so fucking PC today. But Sam Kinison is a funny guy. He's a real funny guy. Yeah. So anytime RRTOA, anytime I offer them food, they want money. Yeah, because that's what they are. They just use that as and then here goes the world's smallest violin. They want to feed on your heartstrings. What I said last night about GoFundMe, that is one of the biggest scams ever. Remember I was talking about social engineering last night? I remember what I was talking about. Social engineering is one of the biggest scams. When people talk about hacking, no, social engineering. I was watching that American Greed a few weeks ago. It might have been about 2 months ago now. That whole thing about the homeless guy. There was, YouTube, it went viral, the whole homeless guy thing. It turned out that the homeless guy was a drug addict. The couple that helped him, they were all in on it together. So they made the storyline about that this couple actually wants to give money to this homeless. This couple's trying to raise money to give to the homeless guy to help him. And they wound up raising, I forgot how much. I don't remember the exact amount. It was probably a few $100,000, if I remember, something like that. So I think they gave the homeless guy about $100,000 from their cut, from what they raised. And the homeless guy, I think he blew all that 100,000 within a year, or not even a year, in a few months, because he's a drug addict. He's drugs. He didn't straighten himself out, and then the money was still coming in from the GoFundMe, and the couple were just living it up with that money. They bought like new trucks, a new pickup, and some motorcycles, a whole bunch of. They were spending all that money. They weren't trying to help him out. So of course, since then, GoFundMe now is more stricter now. Like you have to have more verifiable proof. Like we all seen the other ones, the fake cancer scam. There's another scam, and I saw that one also on American Greed. I think it was a woman. There was, if I remember, it was a woman that she was telling people that she had brain cancer and all this stuff. And she probably raised a couple of $100,000 or not more. I forgot what was the amount. And it turned out that she never had cancer. And these are disgusting people. And basically, and she had no issue at all. She had no. First, she said she had this health issue. Then it turned into brain cancer. And then she was terminally ill from brain cancer. And it turned out that none of that was true. And they investigated. They found out that it was not true. It was crazy. And this is what happens. This is why you can't be so naive. Excuse me. Glenn Dancer, I had a conference in Charlotte and Atlanta twice. Twice tried to rob me, and I cocked my 45, and it ended the event. Glenn, yeah, simplify, my brother. Simplify. Yeah, it's right. You just bring out the equalizer. It's okay. Well, you want to rob me? Okay, here you go. Go ahead and try. Then they ran away like roaches. That's what they do. They run like you see all these videos I see on X. Like they're trying to kick somebody's door down. There was this one that the guy showed up with a vest, with one of those. You can buy those reflective vests in Walmart. They're really for bikers or for runners. You know, you can buy those reflective vests, the safety vests. If you go to Walmart and you go to the sports section or the camping section, for hunters too, they use the reflective vests. So of course the guy had a reflective vest. I guess he was trying to pose as a. He said, "I'm here to check your meter." And the guy was on the end. He didn't answer. He said, "He's not gonna go here to check your meter." And the guy's like, the guy didn't say anything yet. And then he finally he told the guy, "Go away." And then the other guy showed up, and all of a sudden he's trying to kick the door down. Boom, boom. So the guy behind the door, what he does, he shoots right through the door. Bah, 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 bah. You see them scattering like roaches. It was 3 guys. I think it was 3 guys. No, 2 guys. It was 2 guys. African American. He was saying, "Oh my God!" All right, and they're running like roaches. And the guy shot through the door. Bah, 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 bah. They were trying to kick his door down. First they were knocking. They were like, the guy, one guy, of course, the front guy with the vest. He's like, "Oh, we need to check your meter." He just like being, like bullshit, like fucking generic message. Checking your meter, and he got the vest on. So, people who think that, oh, that's a utility guy, a Con Ed or gas, whatever, Over here is Con Ed. That's what we call Con Ed. Con Ed over here is electric and gas. So the guy is like, he pounding hard after the second time. The guy, all of a sudden you hear the guy, "Go away." And he keep pounding, and then suddenly he starts kicking the door down. Boom. And then he's holding the pistol. He has a pistol. I guess he's trying to home invade him. The guy shot right through the door. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. The guys, they ran like roaches. I don't know if he got hit. One of them got hit. They were scattering like roaches out of there. They ran so fast out of that hallway. That's why you can't open the door. You can't open the door for anybody. You have to verify who's on the other side of that door. It's nuts. Yeah, so violent crime is on the rise. Yeah, and of course they're trying to underreport it, like this idiot mayor over here, Mayor Adams. Is a perception. No, it's not a perception. I don't remember the last time so many people get pushed off the subway onto the oncoming train. I never had so much fear or getting burned alive. I never heard of these crimes. This stuff never happened when I was taking a subway. It rarely happened that somebody, when I was taking a subway, it rarely happened that somebody got pushed. It's not a monthly event. Believe me, when I was taking a subway, maybe, and I'm gonna say a few of them were not pushed. They jumped onto the train like suicide. Suicide. Because I remember there was a couple incidents where the person just jumped in front of the train because it was just, the reports were that he just threw himself in front of a train. It wasn't even pushed. Now it's like every other month or every month somebody's getting pushed in a train. It happened this morning, after New Year's, after the ball dropped. Somebody got pushed in the subway and on the train. It's just like a lot more occurrence. There's a lot more violent now because and again, a lot of those people are the people that we keep making excuses for. I gotta blow my nose. Give me a minute. Oh my God, my nose is itchy. I guess because I vacuumed this floor. And wow. Wow. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be on today, but this whole thing happened with New Orleans. It really It's really nuts. I figured talk about it for a while. I've been on for 2 hours now. Local time is 4:23. I'll probably be on for another half hour maybe, and then I'll call it a. It's just crazy. Yeah, I wish we were talking about something lighter. I mean, like those. Remember the live stream last night? They were having fun. They were having fun in Bourbon Street, especially when we were joking about it about the when we saw that guy that looked like Leo Laporte with another woman and say, "Hey, that's Leo Laporte with a mistress." And of course, we saw those two women. They were dancing in front of the. I guess they saw the webcam there, and one of them you could tell she was a little hammered already, and they were just And then to wake up this morning and see what happened, and I mean, hear what happened, I'm like, what the hell, man? It's like bizarro world, and wow. Oh, hello, Luna, Loud, Poppy, Prescott, Gregory, Godoy. That's a long. That's a long name. Happy New Year, my friend. 2025. Yeah, I know, but some of it could have been avoidable. It's just some of the leaders they catering to this whole PC thing, and they don't want to, they don't want to crack down on this stuff. I mean, in this case, it's clearly a couple of things that happened. One of them I noticed during the live stream. I said, "Why is that truck in the middle of Bourbon Street just driving through there?" I figured the one thing I noticed right there, they should have barricaded the whole freaking, all the adjacent streets, because this Bourbon Street is a long boulevard. And I guess that happened between Bourbon and Canal. I don't where the webcam was at. I don't know what cross street that was. I had to look at the replay and see what cross street that was. So I don't know if I don't think it happened right there. I think it might have happened further up. Of course, we don't know the final report until it may take a few more days. When they do the whole reenactment, how far did he go? Like how many blocks down Bourbon Street did he go before he finally was subdued? Before because he apparently he came out of the vehicle and started shooting. So there's more questions than answers, of course, right now. So yeah. Hello, James Farley, and again, a happy New Year. Although it's off to what a crazy start, but Mary Dick said yes. I'm back. Sadly, these events will keep on happening, and it should not. It should not, but it will. Yeah, like I said, I think some of it is avoidable. Some of it is avoidable. I saw that video that you made contact with that guy, the YouTuber. What's his name? Is it Oscar Mike Zero Echo Tango, right? Something like that. Pavel. Well, they call him Paul, but his name is Pavel. I think it's Pavel. Right? Pavel or Paul. So I saw that QSO that you did with yeah. So I saw that QSO, and so because he does live stream. So he does live stream. I think one day if I catch one of his live streams, I'll probably try to contact him one day, because he has like the. So I saw that when you spoke, and I was like, oh, pretty good. It's pretty cool. So that's pretty cool that you spoke to another. So anyway, that's the channel. The guy's channel is I'm trying to remember if it's Oscar Mike Zero Echo Tango. I'm trying to remember, what country is he from? What country? I forgot. Is it Slovenia? I don't know what country. I forgot. Slovakia. Okay, Slovakia. Yeah. Okay, Slovakia. I was close. Yeah, so he does live stream. He has a big channel. He does reviews also. He was the one that reviewed the Ratty RF919, and I was not thrilled about his review. His review was not a good review. I hate to say it. And that's why that was my thing about that. That why they're sending radios like that to ham radio operators. A shortwave radio like that, send it to a shortwave channel. So he did like an unboxing and he played around with the radio, but it wasn't really a review. He was one of the first ones to receive the radio. It was him. I know it was him. And I said that, and plus he can't even pronounce the some people say Radio Diddity. He's the second person that I heard say that. He's Radio Oddity. Radio Oddity. All right? That's the company name, Radio Oddity. It's not Radio Diddity. It's Radio Oddity. Oddity is a word. It means odd. So it's Radio Oddity. Not Radio Diddity. But it's all in one word, Radio Oddity. They jumbled it. They jumbled it in one word. Radio Oddity. Yeah, Radio No Diddy. So that was pretty cool that you made contact with him. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, hopefully there won't be no copycat. So I believe they already postponed the game for tomorrow. The tonight's Sugar Bowl, excuse me, which is in the Superdome. I think they're gonna play tomorrow night, which I think is appropriate. They should do that. At least they should have done that, and that would be appropriate. Just postpone at least for one day, and then and I agree on that. They should postpone that. But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. So anyway, I finished cleaning here. So now I got to pick up the rest of this thing. So I'm going to wait a few more days before I start taking down the tree. Of course, I usually leave the tree up until the 6th. January 6th is it the 6th this year? It's usually on the 6th. It's Three Kings Day. Epiphany, right? It's also called Epiphany. I know in Tasso, you Greek Orthodox, that is a holiday also, right? Tasso. So I usually leave my Christmas, my holiday stuff, and then on the 7th day is when I start taking them down. Sometimes I may be a little late. I'll probably leave it for another couple of more days to the 8th. But yeah, and that's what I do. Because in Puerto Rico, they do celebrate, it's called, Three Kings Day. In Spanish, it's called Dia de los Reyes. O los tres, o los Tres Reyes Magos. Or, Dia de los Reyes. So Three Kings Day. And we celebrate that in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, they do so. In the Caribbean, they celebrate that too. It's not only Puerto Rico, but I believe the Cuba, Dominican Republic also celebrates it. I believe a few South American countries also. I don't know about West Indian countries like Jamaica, Cayman Island. I don't know if they celebrate that too. Pretty much, also Spain, they celebrate it. Okay. So, so okay, Spain also celebrates it. Okay. Yeah, usually, so there's quite a few countries still. I believe the Philippines. I believe where there's a lot of Christian or Catholic, or in your case, Orthodox. Yeah, there's quite a few countries that do still celebrate until the Epiphany. Actually, there's even debate about that. I heard this on the BBC. It was a few days ago. I was listening to the BBC World Service, and they was talking about that actually when Jesus was not born on the 25th of December. He was actually born on January the 6th. On January the 6th. Three Kings Day. That's supposed to be the actual birth of Jesus Christ. That's what the debate is. So that the whole thing about December 25th is actually that is not his date of birth. Is actually on January the 6th. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not anthropologist. I'm not I was just listening to, you know. Yeah, exactly. It's more fun putting them up than taking them down. I know. This is the part that I really kind of dread. Not only I got to take them down, I got to put them back in the in those bins. Like I have a container for this particular ornaments. I have a container for this one because I have like 3 sets of ornaments in the tree downstairs. So I have to make sure they fit in this bin and this bin. And then I have lights on the windows here. I have lights. Some of it is tie wrapped. And then I have lights on the first floor window, and that's it. That's all the decorations I have. And a couple of banners on the living room. I got 2 big banners. One says Merry Christmas, one says Happy New Year. And I didn't go all out this year. I would a year that I would go all out, I would have had a lot more. My banister this year, the stairs, didn't have any lights or anything. So when you come into the house, I forgot what they call it, the foyer. What's it that called when you come into the house? So I have like a little. I normally have lights there too, but this year I didn't have lights because we got a lot of stuff down there because I'm still doing the kitchen. So I had to temporarily use up that space for the kitchen stuff. So I had those lights I didn't put up, and I haven't done that for a few years. But I had inflatables outside. I still got them in a container. I have inflatables, including I have let me see how many inflatables I have. I know I have one of Rudolph. I have one inflatable of Rudolph. I have one inflatable that has Santa in a it's Santa, but he's inside one of those those snowballs, those glass balls that when you shake them they're full of water in there. So it's an inflatable of a glass ball, and inside there's a winter scene, like a Santa scene. So it's a snow globe. A snow globe. So I have an inflatable of a snow globe. And then I have another inflatable of Olaf. Olaf the snowman from Olaf, right? From Frozen, the movie Frozen. I have one snowman that's Olaf. Then I have the other snowman is gone. The regular Frosty the Snowman, he's gone. I threw that one out because the motor broke. And then I have one big other. Yeah, I have. So I said, a regular Santa with the gifts in his bag. So I have one inflatable of Santa, one snow globe inflatable, one Olaf, one Rudolph, and then the last inflatable I have is the biggest one is on the Minion. You know the Minion, those Minions. He's about 9 feet tall. He's the big Minion, a tall Minion, 9 feet tall. I had it out there, and the kids used to love it. The Minion. So, and I didn't put those up this year. And I will put up lights outside sometime, all along the fence. I haven't done that. Hopefully next year I'm gonna go all out. Next year I'll go all out. I like to put a lot of lights. I love lights, but I haven't done that recently. I need to start doing that again. But I want to finish this kitchen thing and free up space, and then also the garage. I need to free up space in there so I can put some of this stuff in the garage. One day I might do a live stream in the garage. I would like to set up some a shack in there too. Like maybe take some of these radios and just put some of these in the garage, so I could do some listening in the garage. So yeah, I know it takes twice different gear TV. LOL. It takes twice as long to take them down and put them up. Yeah, I know. Because this is a holiday hangover now. It's like because I said it yesterday. For me, and this is what I'm talking about. For me, I always say that I between January and these are my 2 months that for me are the longest months. I don't, I kind of know why. January, more or less. September is, even though my birthday is in September, but I noticed that my September is one of those months that I guess it's because the summer's over. January's here because of what? The holidays is over now. We had our Thanksgiving, Christmas, and now New Year's. So now January is like, okay, holiday letdown. And now we're in the middle of winter. Like, you know what I mean? And, other than, at least for some of us, we had the Super Bowl. Well, not the Super Bowl, not yet. Super Bowl's in February. We have for me, like college football playoff. I look forward to that. The playoffs, I look forward to it. I still watch football. And of course, this year, of course, we have the inauguration, which I'm looking forward to that too. So it's not that bad of a January, but sometimes I had Januaries where they were pretty grim. I felt depressed. I felt that, January is one of those months that it can really bother some. So if you have a neighbor out there, just be mindful of that. Especially someone that's elderly and they're alone. January is one of those months that really have to pay attention to. I don't know what the statistics, excuse me, are for people that you know. I mean, I don't want to say the word, but you know what I mean. I know for me, because through my life, especially since I was a teenager, January is one of the few months that I don't look forward to a lot. Other than New Year's, it's just a long month. And then for me, unfortunately, it's also September. Now, of course, September for me is a couple of reasons why now. Uh, one good thing about September is my anniversary of this channel. My birthday is in September. But also, we get reminded now about 9/11. So 9/11 kind of ruined my Septembers. In terms of like, September was kind of one of those months that I didn't look forward to it much because that means summer's over. And I love summer. One of my favorite times of the whole year. As much as I like winter time, but summer is for me. I'm a tropical person. I love warm weather. I'm Puerto Rican. I love summertime. I love green. I love the trees. I love all the green. I love all the foliage, all the flowers. I love all that stuff. When I look outside now, all the trees there's no more foliage. Everything's dried up. I got dry leaves all over the hills. You know, I don't like to look at that. I like to look at it when it's full bloom. You know, I just love summer. It's my favorite time. I hate mosquitoes when we do get mosquitoes, but I love the warm weather. Not hot weather, but at least warm weather I do enjoy. So when September comes around, that's like, okay, back to school, everybody. And of course, that's another thing. Now I have to take my son to school almost every other day or every day and things like that. Well, not here. Let me explain that in a minute. It's weird. It's weird when I moved here. So yeah, it takes twice the time to take them down and to put them up. Yeah. Ken Martin, Happy New Year, my friend. 73. Happy New Year, my friend. Mario DX, when I was in Gibraltar, we have a national day on the 10th of September. Good thing it's not the day after. Yeah, I know. I know. In my case, my birthday is about a week after 9/11. So, 'cause my birthday's on the 19th, September 19th. That's my birthday. So, it's usually so the week after 9/11. Now it's my birthday. 8 days after. So, and also the channel, this channel started on September 11th. It was actually 9/11, 2016 that I started this channel. So September 11th, 2016 is when I started this channel, Danny Shortwave and Radio DX, 2016. Different Gear TV. Do you get cockroaches in hot weather? And then he writes, we get them in Spain. When I lived in New York City, there's cockroaches everywhere. The house that we lived in, there was some cockroaches. Although in my case, when I lived in the house, I was living in the basement. I didn't get that many because I had a couple of things going, and one of them, I don't know if it really works, but I had one of those ultrasonic. You plug it into the wall, and if it was to emit a low frequency that annoys them, and they kind of scurry away. So I had that plugged into my wall for years, and I rarely had a roach in my basement. Another thing I do every so often, like every few months, I buy the fogger. You know the fogger, the bug spray, and Red Flag makes it. Red Flag company called Red Flag over here to make it a fogger. I usually put them in every room in the basement. Of course, you got to leave the house for a couple of hours. The fogger, what it does, it penetrates through the walls and it kills a lot of them. So I never had a major roach problem when I lived in the Bronx, not the house that we lived. Now I've been to other apartments. I visited other people that have roaches like crazy. I mean, like I would not eat in their house. Like I could remember one neighbor that when we would go to his house and you open up the kitchen cabinet drawer, you will see like roach eggs, and I would never eat in that guy's house. I don't care how many times you wash the dishes or utensils. I would not eat in that guy's house. Just too many just ridiculous. It's out of control because they're disgusting. When I moved to this house, I don't know what it is, but New York City has roaches. They have several type of roaches. They're not the roaches that you see in Madagascar. They're not the big. They do have some big. We have what they call water bugs and cockroaches or cockroaches. I believe the one is very small, very thin. I think those are just roaches, just like what roaches. Then we have something called a water bug. I don't know what the hell they call them. They're big. They're big. And some of them actually fly. They actually fly. I've been to apartments where they had those. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that too, Mary Dixie. You're right about that. They can, and I think they're probably going to be one of the few species that are going to survive a nuclear blast. So when I moved here, we don't have. I haven't. Well, not in this house. I haven't. It took a few years before I saw one roach in this house, and that's because the tenant that I have here. Well, I'm kind of guilty of that. He likes to take stuff from the garbage and bring it to the house. Like I think he brought a nightstand. I think he found a nightstand down the block or something, and he put it in his room. But he doesn't clean. He don't really thoroughly clean the nightstand before he brought it into the house. So I think the roach came from his room, and I saw it and somewhere it was one roach. It was just one roach. I stomped on it, I killed it, and I said, "Where the hell is this go?" What we have here is we have a different type of roach. And I heard it's locally to this area. It looks like one of these. What is that? Rubber. It looks like something like this. It looks like not this one. Like if you cut this in half, it looks like a little multi-peat, right? Like some kind of multi-peat. It looks weird. That I noticed we had here, and we have quite a few of them in the house, especially in the basement. So of course, I don't have that many, but I do see them because you gotta understand that my house is next to literally a small forest. So there's all types of critters out there in the forest or the trees and all that. So some of them are going to try to make their way to the house. So again, every so often, which is definitely overdue here, I do also do the fogger here. I do it in the basement. I usually put one in every room in the basement, and I'll do the fogger for a couple hours. Of course, we all have to leave the house, and that usually penetrates through the walls and it kills a lot of that stuff. So I don't let it get to the point where I start seeing them a lot, because I try to keep knock on wood, I try to keep this house as clean as I can. Especially like rats. Right. I'm glad New York City's finally doing that. And here we're kind of policing each other to do that here. When people throw out the trash here, years ago, people would just throw a plastic bag and just put it on the curb. That's the worst thing to do. When you throw out your trash, don't just put it on a plastic bag. Put it in a container. So put a plastic garbage can out there or whatever container, garbage can or bin, whatever. Put the bag in the container. That prevents the mice or the rats from ripping through the bag and eating out all the. In other words, that's not a food source no more. Because we also have raccoons here and all that can rip through the bag and all that. And cats, stray cats. And we have possums here and right here, especially in this part of the street here in Yonkers, where I live at. I've seen possums in my backyard, skunks. So one thing I've been doing here for the last few years is when I put out my trash, I have a few garbage cans. I put all the trash in the garbage can. The only thing I leave on the floor is cans. We do have snakes here, but they're harmless snakes. I do have a few snakes. I ran into a few of them when I was mowing the lawn and all that. They're not that long, big, garden type snake. But they're not. They're harmless. They're not poisonous or nothing like that. But we have snakes here. I leave them alone because they eat rodents. So when I saw one, because I spotted an area where they would burrow a hole, and I guess they went in there when I was mowing the lawn, and I leave them alone because I don't kill them. Yeah, I know I don't kill them. I don't kill them because they actually eat rodents and other insects. So they're part of. I said they're part of the ecosystem. So I'll look at them, okay, and let them go about their business. But they're not poisonous anyway. They're not poisonous to us. I looked up the species. It's like a garden snake. They're harmless to humans, but they do eat small rodents and insects. So I said, okay, go about your business. Or small reptiles we also have. I also spotted a few salamanders. Not salamanders. Newt. They're called newt. Newt, right? Newt. Newt. I think that's how you pronounce it. They look like a salamander. I spotted them. I have one in my boiler room where the water was at before. Sometimes he comes in through there. He'll be there and then he'll go back in. So he's usually in other words, he's around underneath the bathroom because it's moist there. And especially when I had some when I had the water coming in a little bit. Like recently, I got a little now I got a little puddle in the pit because we've been having rain lately. So now the ground is starting to be moist. So I'm starting to get a little water in the pit. Remember the other day I showed you the sump pump? So now I'm getting a little water. I had to run the sump pump for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes because it was a little bit of water. So I ran it for a couple of minutes. That's it. And then it drained the little water. But I do have I seen a newt there. I heard the newts you cannot touch them. They have a toxic M's. They have something toxic in their skin that can get that if you touch them. And well, obviously if you touch them and you lick it, which I'm not gonna do. But I heard if you touch them, you need to wash your hands on it because it could be toxic. It's like a salmonella or something, some kind of thing that they have in their so because I could tell when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, that looks like a salamander. But it's not. It's called some kind of newt. And it's like black color, this dark colored newt. And they also eat insects and all that. So I leave them alone too. I don't kill it. I left it alone. He went back in there, but it was in the boiler room because the boiler room is warm because the boiler's always running. So he was there, and I said, oh, okay. I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay. And he stays in that one spot, and then he goes back in the hole. No. But I know they eat bugs too, so that's another thing. So they eat all those roaches and all that. They eat them. So I leave them alone. I leave them alone. And even the mice, or rats, the stinky. So that's why I never had a rat problem here. Before I moved here, there was I have stray cats. I have a few of them. I have a few. Down the block, there's a house in the corner that he feeds them. So down the block, there's a house in the corner. He puts a bowl out for them and everything. He has like 3 or 4 bowls out there. And he even made a little makeshift. It is kind of an eyesore, but that's their house. I don't care. He did make a little house next to it. It looked like cardboard. It's like a makeshift cat house. I guess because of the cold months now. And he just put it right there next to the stairs going into the house. But he has a few bowls out there. So every time I walk down that corner, I see the bowls right there. With cat food and water. And sometimes I see 2 or 3 cats always around there. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. And sometimes I'll walk by and I'll say something. I'll say something. My son looks at me like, I was like, yeah. Oh, making you squeamish? Okay, sorry. Yes, I let it be. I see when I see they all have their it's an ecosystem like the newt, even the newt, as much as I would not want to grab a newt, or I'm not but I leave them alone because I know that he eats bugs. So he's like a pet, like a pet. He hangs around the boiler room. He hasn't been there for the last few nights, but I saw him like last week. I saw him for a few hours, and then he went back in the crawled up back in the boiler. In the not the boiler. There's a wall by the sump pump. There's a hole there. He goes right back. He's on the other side of the house, the outside part of the house. He'll come back in, like he's and I know that's what he does. He eats bugs. So I said, okay, control the bug problem. Sometimes I have my son. He doesn't like in the basement. Sometimes I have a spider in the boiler room, in the corner, had a little cobweb, and my son will be like, "Why you leave?" I said, "No, I leave the spider because you know what? Spiders eat bugs. So I don't knock all the ones that, of course, up here. I don't want to see them, but in the boiler room, there's a particular area. Sometimes there's a spider there, and I leave them alone because they eat bugs. They control the bug problem. Anything goes near that area, that's his food. And my son looks at it like, yeah. I said, yeah, well, he's taking care of the bug problem. Yeah. Okay, my mouse. Okay, here we go. All right, oh, Jesus. Let me go back over here. So, yeah, different years here. I worked in people's houses, and I always see evidence of them. Some houses I worked in, I see them either dead or, yeah, I know, this is disgusting. I know my radio just wrote, cockroaches are the cleanest insect and they can survive. Yeah, that I know. I know that if we ever have a nuclear, whatever, mutual assured destruction, we destroy each other. The only species that'll probably be alive after all this is the roaches. Yeah. Different gear TV. I get the odd one, but I spray and put traps around. I put traps out. So it's quite rare, but sometimes they appear like what the hell? Yeah. I haven't put glue traps like I only put glue traps if we see a mouse. Like a few months ago, we saw one mouse in the house. So we put a few glue traps for a couple of days and we caught him. He ran into usually behind the stove. In our house, usually it's behind the stove in the kitchen. Well, we usually catch the mouse. So we caught it and I just put it in the trash. Sorry, I don't. Oh, it's humane. You should release him outside. No, he's a fucking mouse. He's a rat. Sorry. I don't want to hear that in here, people. Please, no PETA. Ugh. I hate rats. Ugh. I even had the ones I haven't used them in years, but they're not working anymore. The one I think they got. I'm not even gonna fix. I'm probably gonna throw them out at some point. I have the electronic ones, the zapper. It's a big. I have one for the mouse and I have one for the rats because there was a time when we had a couple of big rats in the house, so I had one that was big. When I bought it, that one you plug it into you can put batteries in it or you can plug it into the wall. So I had that one plugged into the wall, and that one you open it, you take out the cover. It has a metal. When they walk in there, they get zapped. They shocked to death. They get, cooked, electrocuted, whatever you want to electrocute it. So you open it up. There's an area where you can put butter. They say usually to put peanut butter, not cheese. I know people say cheese. That's not true. Peanut butter. And you put the lid on, and then you turn on the switch. And if they walk in there, that's it. So a few times, I zapped a few big ones, and that's it. That ended the whole thing here in this house. I'm talking about big rat, one big rat, and a couple of them, and then that's it. Then we had no more issues. But also the big thing is also the trash. When you put out the trash, don't just throw out bags. Put it in a container, and then I know New York City now. They finally made they made it into law for New York City because a lot of buildings just throw out bags in the curb. Usually, there's a stack of bags all over. And that's the worst thing to do because all the rats are gonna be there. Some houses around here still do that. They just put bags out there. You're supposed to put a bag in a container. Well, you could put out. I managed to put 3 kitchen bags in a big 35 gallon trash can. You could put at least 2 or 3 bags and even stack one on top because they can't climb up they can't climb up the container. As long as you leave it on top, it's fine. But don't leave the bags on the floor outside because they're gonna rip through it easily. If you have too many bags that you can't fit in a container, try to put them on top at least. If not, get another container. So that's what I've been doing for the last few years, and that mitigated the rat. And then my neighbors started doing it too. They started putting everything in containers. Although this house right here, they have too many people in the house, so they only have like 6 containers and 10 bags outside, or more than 10 bags. It's always like they have too many people in the house. But I'm glad that's one thing you need to do. Don't put bags out there in the curb and like that. Only put it in a container. Even if the bag doesn't have food in it, always practice that habit. Just put it in a container. And there was a time when I would go outside and I would see rats going up and across the street to the other garbage coming back. Now I rarely see them. And also the stray cats around here. That's why I don't mind the stray cats because I don't mind. I wish I could adopt one out there. But my wife, she just can't. But they run out. I seen rats. I seen the stray cats come around here and play with a dead mouse. They're smacking him around, dragging him around a dead mouse. Like, how the cats be punching. But I seen last summer I was sitting out there, and I got my radio out there, and and all of a sudden I see the cat with a mouse and just rolling the dead mouse around. And I was like, oh, cool, good job. So I put a little plate, I had a paper plate, and I had some tuna. I just put it there. I don't know if tuna is ideal for them. I don't know. I left it there, and I put it in. They kind of looked at me like, I was like, oh, yeah. And I put a bowl of water. Here you go. And I'm just sitting there, relaxing, in the corner of my eye. Finally, starts eating the tuna. I'm like, okay, good. There you go. Good job. Yeah. Mary Dixon, have you played Fallout? The Fallout game? No, I never even heard of this game. If you haven't, there are these radio or rad roaches, which are big, that are mutated from cockroaches after the war. Oh my god! So mutated roaches. That's right there. Thankfully, no snakes here. No, I'm sure there's snakes around there. They're garden snakes and all that. Some of them are garden snakes. I'm sure if you go to a local park, there's got to be a snake somewhere. It's just you don't see them because, first of all, you probably got to see them at night or early in the morning, or you're not there often enough. Believe me, there's snakes everywhere. When I worked in the rail yards, I saw snakes in the rail yard. Even in the train yard, I saw snakes. I saw raccoons. So I seen, of course, big ass rats in the train yard all over the place. Oh my god! Sometimes I would walk by. I'm walking on not the train track, but along the train track next to it. They have like those train yards full of gravel, and you got train tracks. But in between each track, you have a walkway. It's made out of fiberglass or metal. And when you walk through there, you're walking back to the building, to where they call it the barn, but it's like the like a garage for the train or the depot. So when you're walking back there at night, sometimes there was areas where they run right in front of you, scare the hell out of you. So I'm walking back to the building, and I'm and it's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And it's not that there's not that much light other than the spotlights on the tower and all that. It's kind of dark, but my God, they'll run right in front of your feet. Scare the hell out of you. It happened to me quite a few times. Oh my God. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. So you'd be surprised. There's snakes everywhere. And just a lot of them. I mean, of course, we don't have rattlesnakes and all that, but there's probably a lot of garden snakes, smaller snakes, things like that. So yeah. Mary Dixon, did you get foxes? We have them here and have expanded into the city. We have coyotes. We had a few coyote sightings. We have coyotes recently around Westchester County. We have one even here in Yonkers. It was a coyote. I think you're normally rarely they attack anybody. Usually I think one that was nearby here. This is like in the summertime. I think it might have attacked the dog and then ran back into the woods. It was like somebody's backyard, I guess. But this is further up, not here in this part. Over here in this part, I'm surprised I don't see them because I got a whole bunch of trees here. But I guess it's not acres. Had this would have been more wooded, more wider, and I probably would have had a couple of more here. I probably would have had one around here somewhere. Who knows? But no, not. And deer. I don't have deer right here. But down there, further up, you'll see deer. When you're driving along the highway, you'll see a deer. Or you'll see deer. Yeah. Tassel, I'm sure we have them too, but not in the city. And yeah, I know in Central Park there was a couple of sightings in recent history on either coyote or I don't know about a fox. I'm pretty sure coyote. And they're very small coyotes. They're not like people say coyote. They think they're like like Wile Coyote with a bushy tail and all that. I mean, they look like they're starving. They're very light, almost like very thin. And the ones that people describe it and had photos of it, you know. So yeah. 21 SC, Happy New Year from South Carolina. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Yeah. So yeah, we have plenty of stray cats around here. But there's one guy down there down the block. He does feed them. It's the same house that also feeds the pigeons. So like in the warmer weather now, well not now, but when the weather was warmer, he mashes up like old bread and he puts it along the sidewalk. And pigeons come down and eat there in the morning. A couple of times when I walk with my son to school, I actually have to cross the street because sometimes the pigeons will be on the utility pole, on the utility line. And one time I got pooped on my shoulder, and my son almost got pooped. So I just avoided. When I see I said, no, let's cross the street because I don't want to get pooped by these pigeons. I guess the guy that lives down there in the first house, he just likes to feed all types. He feeds the pigeons and he feeds the cats. So I guess he's a real, But everybody else, no, I don't see. And then of course me once in a while up here, but yeah, this is like in the summertime when the weather's nicer. Usually although this year I finally when I had that raccoon issue here last year, remember I had the raccoon issue I told you about? That whole bird feeder. Remember I had the bird feeder stuff out there? I got fed up with that because as much as I want to do bird feeding here, the problem is it attracts the other stuff. Remember Tasso that I had the bird bath and all that? So I think next summer I'm not doing all that. I'm done with that. Oops, sorry. I'm done with that because that's the problem. That's what that's what brought that raccoon into downstairs. And he did not want to leave until I seal up that door. And I still got to do the garage. God forbid he would have went in the garage and caused havoc in that garage. Because that was the last straw when he ripped the water hose. He tore it up. That was the last straw. I was pissed. I said, no, you're gone. This raccoon is gone, and I'm gonna knock all that bird bath stuff is gone. As much as I want, I like my wife, especially my wife, really wanted to see it. But the problem is that it's not the birds I bring in, because the bird feed is the other animals see the bird feed on the floor and they want to. And I don't mind the squirrels, and I don't mind. But when the raccoon starts hanging out in my backyard and going to my house, I got to draw the line. And that's the problem. I have raccoons out here. And skunks. And possums. But the raccoons is the one when he was down there for a few days, he worst case scenario, I thought he was gonna eat my antenna wire. LMR 400. Imagine he would have ripped my LMR 400. I had because I got 4 or 5 cables down there. I got LMR 400. I got some LMR 240. I got coax. He would have ripped through all of those. You know how much money for each line? I would have had I would have been really, oh my God. Yeah, so that's why I said no. I had enough of the bird bath nonsense. I'm sorry. As much as I love bird watching and all that, I can't have it right here. I just can't right now. I just can't. Because I said, and I told her, I said, that's gonna bring it. Because I had closed the counters already. When I had as soon as I put the bird feeder out there, I had 3 of them. I had 3 bird feeders out there and a bird bath. I put 2 fountains out there. When I put that stuff out there, within a week or so, one time I was sitting out there late at night. I was making a video. It was one of those videos that I was listening to the I forgot what radio I had, and I was listening to ESPN Chicago. And as soon as I done recording the video, I'm sitting on this lawn chair, and a possum walks right by me, right here, like this, literally minding his own business. And I went, what? I was shocked. He was right there, like feet away from me. A possum, because it was dark outside. And I'm sitting there, I'm having a couple of beers, and I'm sitting there. And I just look over the corner, and I see a possum just walking by, minding his own business. And I'm like, oh, great. I thought I saw a ghost. Because, I don't know how, possums. I've seen possums on video. They're not docile. They can attack you. They have sharp teeth. And I'm like, okay, that's the last time I was in that corner at night where the boulder is at because of the bird feeder and all that. I said, I'm done. So now if I go out there now, I have to have a flashlight nearby. I have to put more light there and scare them with the light. Because, I'm telling you, the raccoon, when he would have ripped through all that coax, I would not be. I was not happy when he ripped through the water hose. That was a 75-foot water hose that cost me about $70 when I bought that water hose. He destroyed it. But all I said was, thank God it wasn't the coax. Thank God it was not the coax cable. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I best let them be, right? Yeah. Let me see. Where am I? Okay, I thought that was my place here. All right, so what was that noise again? What the hell's that noise? Oh my God. Hey, well, I need to clean up over in a few days. I'll find out what the source of it is. I thought it was a car outside. It could be something outside. I don't know. Oh my God. Oh, Andrew Zimmerman, I think Zimmerman or Zimmerman, not Zimmerman, it's Zimmerman or something. He used to do like the travel channel stuff. Then of course he's a bald guy. He travels all around the world. He eats everything. He's a bald guy. I know you're talking about Andrew Zimmerman or something like that. So he eats everything. This guy eats. He eat like everything. There's nothing that he hasn't eaten. Oh yeah, some of the stuff he eats is. Yeah, so it's probably him. It has to be him. Like a Survivor show. No, this guy, he goes all around the world. Like he goes to like Vietnam. He eats whatever they eat over there. He goes like all over the world. He goes like to for example, Ethiopia. I know there was an episode he went to Ethiopia where they eat like the raw meat and they drink the blood from which is dangerous to do that. Just drink raw blood and he's done that. He's done that. This is disgusting. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, that's just nasty. So it's probably Zimmerman. If you're talking about Survivor type show, There's that guy. What's his name? Not that Bear Grylls. Not that guy. I think it's Stroud. I forgot his name. Something Stroud. And this guy, usually what they do is they drop him in the middle of a forest. They usually drop him in the middle of the forest, and he just lives off the land. So there was one episode, I think they dropped him in one of those islands in the Pacific, like one of those atoll islands where there's nobody in the island, and he had to live on the whatever was on the shoreline, crabs and all that. And I think he hunted one of those snails, those big snails. I thought it was a big snail. They call him conch. It's a big snail. And he took out the slug out of it. It was like a big slug. Oh my God. And he cooked it and he ate it. Oof. I don't even like holding a snail. They're disgusting. I'm kind of squeamish when it comes to snails. I don't like the way they look. They got those beady little eyes and they got the little. When we had a fish tank downstairs, we had a couple of fishes and we bought a snail. My wife said, "Oh, babe, the snail." And he's going up the glass. Because the snail is supposed to, from what I read, from what I saw on YouTube, it's good to have a snail inside the fish tank because they kind of they feed off the no jokes. I'm not joking about this. They feed off the fish poop. So when the fish is in the water, like whatever fishes you got in the tank, a snail is like a bottom feeder type animal. A lot of bottom feeder type, whatever they are, they feed off the algae, either the algae or the poop from the fishes. So the snail kind of balances that. So you don't have to clean the tank as often. Especially if you have a couple of snails. Oh my God. I didn't like them. I don't like them going up and down the glass. I just didn't. Ooh. And then one of the snails, I think, died. And I had to throw them away. I had to put my hand in the tank and grab them. Well, I used not grab them, excuse me. Oh yeah, no, I didn't grab them. I used the net. The net. Well, I would never grab them. Ooh. I used the net. And even holding the net. Ooh. Then I just took them outside and flinged them into the grass. And I don't know what unfortunate bird ate that one, but ooh. Somebody must have ate it. Some bird must have ate it or something out there or whatever. Ooh. Just thinking about it, man. I mean, I get squeamish. So it's probably one of those guys. But Zimmerman is the one that goes around the world. He eats like street food and all that. Street food, all types of rodents, insects, you name it, he ate it. He's like the weirdest one out of all of them. Then the other one is more survival. So, they don't eat like, they eat whatever is a survival type. But Zimmerman is more of they eat stuff because it's a delicacy. I know when he went to Ethiopia and they literally drank the blood of a cow. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's just dangerous and disgusting. They make like some kind of beverage out of it. Oh. Cow's blood. Oh my God. I'm getting a little oh my God, my throat's getting dry thinking about that now. I don't want to. No, I didn't throw it over my neighbor's. It's my yard. I threw it in my yard. My yard. I just put it right there in the yard because I know I get birds and all that. So I'm sure some bird must have came along and said, "Oh, look, escargot, escargot." I flew away with it. I don't know. Oh God. Yeah. Different gear. I had gecko, lizard, in here, and I didn't mind it. Like in Florida, I lived in Puerto Rico, they're all over the place, in the house, even inside the house. And you leave them alone. You leave them alone. I know Puerto Rico is like that. It will be in the house. They'll be on the wall. They will run up and down the wall, and then they go in outside, whatever. In Florida, when we took my son to Florida the first time, my son was a little squeamish about it, but then after a while, it didn't bother him. And they outside in Florida. They outside. You'll see them out there, like in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, okay, look. And what they do is they do feed off insects and all that. So you leave them alone. They don't bother you. They'll be crawling up the wall and they'll go wherever they're going, and that's it. So in Florida, you see them all over. Lizards, little green, very small, like a gecko. Yeah, gecko lizard or different gear TV. Don't you get burning rat smell on those electric? No, it's just they don't get cooked. They just get electrocuted. They get zapped. I think I don't know how many volts. It's enough to kill them. They don't get cooked in there. I'm just joking about getting cooked. But it does zap them though. It just kills them. I don't know. I forgot the exact voltage or whatever. I know that the minute they go in that trap and they set their little paws in there, they gone. Like the next day when I go down, when I check the trap, he's already dead. He's like, rigor mortis. I don't know, stiff. Disgusting though. I had to put on my gloves. I grabbed by the tail. I'm not touching him barehanded. I don't know what kind of. I put on my gloves, disposable latex gloves. I grab by the tail. I throw it. I usually put it in the trash. I put it in the trash if it's gonna go out that same day. If not, normally what I do is I take that rat and I got the backyard. I fling it right over right there, right to the Yonkers side of the yard. Whoop. Let them scavenge it. Some ants or whatever are gonna scavenge it, and that's it. That's what usually happens. When rats die outside the yard, they get scavenged. You see, like usually it'll be like ants or insects. I don't know if maybe we do have hawks. We do have hawks that fly around. A hawk could come down and hey, we got dinner. Whatever. I don't know. Things like that. So all I know is usually when I throw it out there, within a couple of days, it's gone. It's gone or it decomposes out there, and that's it. But most of the time, it's usually gone. Some creature will scavenge it, pretty much. So yeah, I don't get the burning rats. They just get zapped. My rats are very resourceful. When I go to the duck pond and throw bread, I see them coming out of the hole to get a piece, and they swim very well. Yeah, they are resourceful. They can be resourceful. Different gear. Next time, give the cat tuna mayo instead of straight tuna. The tuna that I had though, it was not just regular tuna. Because I had tuna it was donated to us. It comes in a bag. It's like a foil bag. I think it already had like olive oil in it or something. One of them had like a little bit of lemon. It was not just a tuna. It was just when I say tuna, I should have said that. But it was not. I don't think it was just regular tuna. Because I had a few for a while and I finally ran out of them. Because some of them, yeah, I don't know. Some of them probably they were a little past their date, but they were in a foil. They come in a packet, like a single serving. They were donating. I think what happened was there was a time where they were donating some food, and my wife just, they were gonna either donate it and they hadn't nowhere to. So I'm always say, you know what, I'll take it because sometimes I do eat a tuna sandwich. So I had it for a while in the stockpile. I had it in the pantry, but after a while, I wasn't eating them, and then a couple of them it was past. So I said, you know what, I used to open it up. I used to put it in a plate and give it to put it outside. But it usually has olive oil or something already. I know one of them had the lemon. I also had chicken salad too. It was chicken salad. It's already so it might have. I think that well, not, I don't think it had mayo. I think it was already. I think they do put olive oil and something else on there. The other one I know, one of them was lemon flavor. So they put some kind of lemon on it. They ate it. They loved it. They cleaned that plate. They cleaned that plate. None of them they didn't. None of them ever said no. They cleaned that plate. So you know, it wasn't like straight up tuna in a can. It was not. It was a very. It was a, and also the tuna was very mushy. When you open it up, and I put it in the plate, I could tell it was already really mushy, like not regular, not like Starkist tuna straight out of a can. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I don't have no more of those packets. I would have showed you. Well, I don't have any up here, but I would have showed you. It was I know they were in a packet. It's like it's a foil packet, and I kept them because they were gonna for because I have a pantry and I keep food stockpile in case of I mean, look at what happened to Puerto Rico now. 25% of the island has no power. Puerto Rico right now, 25% of the island is with no power already. Recent. This is the as of this morning, I believe. Something going on with the. I know what it is. I told you already. We already talked about that a long time ago. Corruption. All that FEMA money that it was supposed to fix this, they just patched up stuff. So yeah. Mary Dixon, I had a fox growl at me when I was walking at night. I thought it was going to attack me. Thankfully, it did not. Yeah, and I know one time that happened to me with a raccoon. A friend of mine, we used to go to this abandoned building that used to be near where we used to live in the Bronx. So one time we went all the way up to the rooftop. The building is totally abandoned. It was building got is part of the building is kind of hollow actually because of several floors got burned, and that building was vacant. It was an empty building until they finally demolished it a few years later, and eventually built this new school on top of it. But there was a time that the building was up and it was just abandoned. So me and my friend used to go in there. We used to go into abandoned buildings all the time. That's what we did as a teenage. As teenagers, we did that. We would explore abandoned places and all that. So we went up to the rooftop, and I'm gonna leave it at that because basically my friend was checking out somebody from across the building across the street from us, and he's like, hey, yo, look, check this out. I'm like, and then all of a sudden, and then that part of the roof, there's a hole on the roof, and it goes down 2 floors because that part of the floor, I guess that part of the roof finally collapsed because of all the years it's been abandoned. Plus, there was a fire there, and so there's a hole. So you got to be careful not to walk in that area and go down. So we already know where the area was at. The problem is that there was a raccoon right there, and he almost felt cornered. So all of a sudden, I hear the raccoon going like he's doing that pose like, and I'm looking at my friend and I say, get ready to run. So I had a 2x4 nearby. I threw it right at him, and we ran the other way. And he just got out of it because he scared the hell out of us. He was like, I think he felt cornered because we just stumbled upon him, and he's like right there, like maybe 6 feet, 7 feet away from us. And he's like he's doing that, like he's ready to like charge us. And I grabbed the 2x4 and I was like, I said his name. I said, I'm gonna throw this wood out. You get the hell out of here, right? And I went throw the wood and we ran. And I was only hearing, and he must have fell down the hole. He must have fell down because it was near the hole. So I think I might have hit him to the point, or he rattled him that he must have fell down and you could hear him down there angry. I was like, oh my God. Scared the hell out of us. We ran out of that building that night. And he's like, no, I'm not going back up there. Not with that raccoon up there. And I said, we never went back in that building. Not at night. I never went back in that building. Eventually, that building got demolished. And then, of course, now there's a public school in that. And one day I'll do a tour of my old block, and I'll show you. Maybe I'll do a video one day. I'll go to my old block, and I'll show you, point out where I used to live at and all that, and you can see everything. But oh my God, that's the closest I've been to a raccoon that I thought we were gonna get attacked. It's scary. And my friend was like, yo, check her out, man. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, please don't. And he's looking and he's like, because I used to go along with him. He was like, you understand, back then he was like my bestie. But sometimes he would do things that I go like, well, what are you doing? Of course, a couple of times I had to talk him out of it. Like when I said that story about walking underneath a bridge, that was one time that I actually said no, and he actually agreed with me. He said, no, okay, we're not going. And then the other guy was like, oh, are you scared? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not walking under that bridge because if I fall, one, I don't know how to swim. So if I fall in that river, I'm as good as gone. So I said no. So, peer pressure, so me, I had to stand up. I said, no, I'm not walking under that bridge. And then he agreed with me, no. So we went back home. And then the other ones, they decided, oh, I'm going to walk underneath the bridge. They didn't even make it halfway, and they all chickened out underneath the bridge. And I asked them later on, did you go all the way across the bridge? He said, no. We only went about not even halfway, and then we came back. It was too scary. I said, well, see? I'm saying, God forbid none of you would have slipped. If any of you would have slipped on that bridge while you're up there, you would have fell in the East River. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no way, because I can't swim. At some point, maybe I need to take swimming lessons. I just don't care about it right now. At my point in my life, I don't plan to. Yeah, it's good to know it. God forbid you need it. Back then, I knew that for a fact. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna walk under this bridge. God forbid I slip and fall, especially from that height. As the bridge goes up, you're at the middle of that bridge is an arch. The bridge is an arch underneath. You got a flat roadway, but the bridge is all steel girders, they call it. Arch like this. So we were on this side of the arch, and this side of the arch. So he wanted to walk to the other side. I said, no, I'm not doing. So when you're underneath the middle of the bridge, that's at least that's not a 10-story fall. That's more than 10 stories. I think it's about 150 feet. Or I think it's about 200 feet. That's a big fall. You know what's a 200-foot fall into a river? You can die. You can die just with the fall. The fall itself can kill you. Forget about drowning. 200 feet and you fall into a river. You understand what I'm saying? That's. You remember that video? I know you guys seen that video. Remember that video of that young girl that got pushed off a bridge? She fell 60 feet. Remember that video? That her so-called friend pushed her off the bridge because they were thinking about diving off that bridge. And then the girl just pushed her off the bridge. And she fell. That was only 60 feet. And she wound up being hospitalized. I think she broke a rib and she has some other. Anyway, and then the girl got criminally. She got arrested for that. And then eventually they just give a slap on the wrist, I guess. But that's 60. Imagine 200 feet. Almost 200 feet. Because that bridge was not, it was the arch, the middle of the arch, at the apex, I don't know what they call that, the top of the arch, underneath the roadway. That's at least 200 feet into the river. I said, no way, I'm not walking up that. Are you crazy? So, anyway, so, my friend is like that. He was like that. He's always wanted to do this. I said, no, I'm not doing that. You crazy. Because he was about to do it with them. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And they were like, why are you scared? I said, I don't care. Call it whatever. I'm not walking underneath that bridge. That's it. I'm going to turn around and go back to, I'm going home. I'm going to turn around and go home. And the same guy that kept doing that, eventually he got killed. He's, you always have that one guy in the group that wants to do it. The guy that, in Spanish we call it el atrevido. Atrevido. He's always the guy that he needs to, he wants to, he's the guy that wants to, the risk taker. He's the one that wants to walk on the edge of the rooftop. He wants to jump from roof to roof. The daring one. Thank you. That's a good, the daring one. So that was him. He's always, same thing when, the graffiti. Same thing with the graffiti. I would write, of course, I'm not proud of saying that, but when I would write somewhere, I would not write in a person's home. I try not to do that. Or place of business. I try not to. This guy, he didn't care. He would climb up like a billboard. He would climb up to the the roadway. The roadway, right? The billboard where it tells you exit or whatever. The highway signs, the highway billboards. He would climb up to those. He would climb up there to write his name and all that. And I said, I'm not doing, you crazy. I'm not going doing all that. He would do that. And what happened to him? I think by his 15th birthday, he might have been about 15 years old. He tried to rob a grocery store. I believe that's what happened. He tried to rob a grocery store, and he messed with the wrong grocery guy, wrong grocery store. He got shot up. He got shot up for trying to rob a grocery store. On bodega, he got shot up. Because that's who he was. He was a daring guy. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do what the hell I want. I was like, no. And it caught up to him, he caught up to him. But when I found that out, I wasn't surprised that he was gonna, because he was either that or he was gonna go to prison. And I didn't like him. When he was part of that group, I didn't like him. I said, I don't like this guy. And they're in my, oh no, he's okay. He's cool with me. I was like, oh well, I don't like him. I used to say, I don't like that. I don't like this guy. It's just something, it's something. Yeah, atrevido y tonto. Yeah. So it was something about that guy. I just didn't like him. Something was off with him. He was always like, trouble will always follow this guy. Like it happened a few times too. We would go to like a house party. House party is like they would go to different house party. Every time this guy would go to a house party, there was always a fight breakout or something. Especially when he had his other buddies with him. Because he used to hang out with a real meathead. Another meathead. This guy was a real meathead. This guy was really dumb, but he was a big guy. So that guy, and you understand another thing about this guy. He's a small guy. He's not even you figure, out of all people, the smallest guy got the biggest bark. That was this guy too. So that was him. He was always like so every time, a fight would break out in a party, he's in the middle of it. That's why I didn't like him, because he's a troublemaker. He was a troublemaker too. So I stopped hanging with them. And then, I started distancing toward even my friend. I had to distance toward him because he started gravitating to them people too much. And I said, I'm not about that. I'm not here trying to prove what they call a pissing contest. Who's more manly? I don't got time for that nonsense. I know I can hold my own with whatever. I don't need to prove it to everybody all the time. or just to prove it to anybody. I don't need to do that. I'm not doing that. So this guy always try to, always try to start stuff because, whatever, And I would, some girls would find that kind of some girls like that bad boy nonsense. And I would tell them, I said, "Well, you seen this guy? First of all, he's ugly. He is ugly. He was an ugly guy. Not that I was, not that I was a freaking GQ model, or whatever. But this guy was straight up fucking ugly. But some women like that type of guy. But it caught up to him. It caught up to him, That's what happened. He went into a store, he tried to rob this place. The guy said, "You're not coming." Bing, bing, took care of his ass, fixed his ass up. One day I go outside and I see a friend, he's crying. I'm like, "What are you crying about?" "Oh, they killed this." I said, "Sorry to hear that." I didn't shed a tear because I didn't like the guy. I knew that's what's gonna happen to him. There's people growing up that they're not gonna get past a certain point because they're just too nuts. And then in this case, I think that his whole family's dysfunctional. I think he already had another relative, one of his brothers has already been. He's I think doing like a 25-year to life beta already. Like he's destined to that shit. He was just fucked up. And some of the people I used to grow up with, they would hang out with. I used to be like, "No, I'm not hanging out with you guys no more. I'm done with this." That's why you got to wise up, man. That's what happened to me. I had to wise up. I said, "I can't be around these people anymore. They're too out there." No, I'll stick to playing with my radios. Well, at that time, I'll stick to doing my artwork. Or I'll stick to what at that time, doing my artwork, playing my video games, my Commodore computer. I don't care. Call me. You're a geek. I don't care. That saved my life. What are you talking about? My hobby saved my life. I don't want to get caught up in that nonsense. A lot of it is because of girls. A lot of it is stupid. A lot of that stuff was stupid. It was to impress some girl. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I never had a problem in that department. I really never had a problem in that department. But some of them did because the way they acted, it was just. I said, if you're yourself, be yourself. Stop trying to be somebody else. It's quite sad actually. And this is back then. Now I can imagine now people get glued on the phone and they think that that's actually the person. They try to emulate a person that's already acting. So that's not the person who they really are there. They see that a lot, and this is sad. It's sad to see that. I believe today is the first day of Generation Beta. Is it Generation Beta? I heard that this morning too. Today is the first day of Generation Beta. Okay? So for those of you who don't know what this is, for example, I believe every 25 years, there's a new generation, more or less generation type. We all heard about the baby boomers, right? The baby boomers. And then I believe there was generation after the baby boomers was us. Was Generation X. So we're Gen X. I'm 58 years old. I was born in 1966. So I'm considered Generation X. Generation X was from 1965. So a year after, so 1965 until I forgot what year in the anyway, 1965. I'm Generation X. And then we have I forgot the generation after that. There's Generation Y. So now, today's New Year's Day, right? So now we have a new generation. It's called Generation Beta. So anybody born after today is considered Generation Beta. So that's going to be from what? So from right now, right, 2025 until when? 2050. So anybody born around that area is Generation Beta now. I believe it's 2050, I think. So right now I'm Generation X. Okay, so we got Generation X. What's the generation after X? I forgot which one it is. I think it's not Alpha. And I forgot about that one. There's a Generation Alpha. There's your generation. So, like, for example, my generation was the first generation that we had television already. Right? Television. And we migrated to the internet. Then the generation after us was internet. And then, like my son generation, all they know is internet. You know, like there's no concept of the rotary phone. There's no concept of the even over the air television the way it is, the way it was back then. No. So yeah, so I heard that this morning about that Generation Beta. I mean, go look it up. But that's what I heard this morning on one of the Generation Beta. So today's the first day of that. So any child that's born now until 2050, that is Generation Beta. So right now, of course, we still have baby boomers. There's still baby boomers around, and then after baby boomers is us. Well, I don't know about you. I don't know about Tasso, about me. Yeah, so Glenn Dassler, you're a boomer. Okay. You was born in 53. Okay. So yeah, so I'm a Generation X, Gen Xer. So we actually drank water from a garden hose. I drank water from a public fountain in the park. Things like that. I played in the dirt. When we had when we had a Tonka truck, we actually would go out there in the dirt and dig in the dirt and put the dirt on the Tonka truck. Tonka truck. And we had some kind of excavator. We did, this generation now doesn't play anymore. My son played a little. My son actually, when he was a toddler, he did play in the dirt. And James Farley's also a boomer. Okay, so yeah, so I think that they say that this generation now, because a lot of things are different now. Remember, when you look at a picture of your, so Generation Z starts a little after 19. Generation Z starts a little after 97. Okay, so that's a generation after Generation X. Then I think Generation Z is after X. No, there's another No, no, not 97. So I think there's a Generation Y that comes after. So you're after X. Okay, so you're after me. Okay. Millennial. Yeah, they also call them millennial. Actually, millennials before. I guess millennial live. They were born in the transition of the 90s into 2000. Like my son was born in 2014. So he's in the 2000s already. 2010s. So yeah. Different gear. Can anybody hear 5780? No, I don't have the radio on right now. I'm actually about to wrap it up in a few minutes, actually. I've been on for 3 hours and 44 minutes, and we talked about a lot of things today. So, and hello, Alfredo Monteroso. Merry Christmas 2025, YouTube, and Happy New Year 2025. So yeah, so this is the first day. I know I heard this morning on the radio because they always, they always announce the baby, the first baby born in whatever, New York City or whatever. So of course they also mentioned that this is the first day of a new generation, and it's called Generation Beta. So that's where we at now. So my son is Generation Alpha. Then I believe that's the one. Yeah, excuse me. I didn't bring any water up here. I haven't had a sip of water in a while, in almost 4 hours now. It was fun ringing in the new year with you, Dan. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have fun, though. I have fun doing it. I have fun doing it. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. It's going to be 6 o'clock. I want to I have to do some cleaning outside. My son is actually napping. He was up all night, and he's probably going to wake up from his nap soon. And I had to clean the confetti up here. I'm going to just relax for the rest of the evening. And then tomorrow he goes back to school. Actually, tomorrow, yeah, he goes back to school tomorrow. My wife is gonna take him tomorrow. My wife is off tomorrow. My wife had to work 5 straight days. Wow, and she's off tomorrow. She's gonna have a few days in a row break too. So she's gonna take him to school tomorrow. So I'm just gonna relax tomorrow, and then I'm gonna start getting ready to take down this stuff. After the weekend, after the 6th, I'll start taking down all these decorations, and then as soon as I'm done doing that, I gotta start clearing out the basement room for the transition. Basically, rebuild the permanent shack in the basement. So I got a lot of stuff, and we're gonna finish the kitchen. I took a break from the kitchen because she was cooking all these days. So anyway, take care, everybody. Have a happy new year, and keep your head up high. And take care, everybody. Enjoy your evening. Where's my mouse? Oh my God, where's my mouse? Where is my mouse? There you go. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.